Yo, what is up, pussies? We are back with another episode of Mogcast.
Episode 48.
It has been a long time. Everyone's been asking about it. I think the main thing was like, okay, you getting settled in LA, because now that we're in the same place, I moved out.
Yeah.
Well, we all moved out. We all moved out of the house, and I came here to LA, and then he finally came. So now that
it only took 6 months of us living in the same fucking city.
And it'll probably only last like another 6 months, right? Because you're going to Tampa.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
If Mogcast blows up like it did before, then
like and subscribe. So if
that'll keep me in LA, bro.
Give a comment. But we're fucking back. It's good to be back.
Yeah, dude.
I think both of us have been kind of like trying to get back on our content stuff.
Yeah.
Especially because the industry has changed so much. You would know more really about that type of stuff, but let's get right into it, man. Let's fucking jump into it.
Dude, first things first, we got some big news just in time for the election. We got a bunch of new cases of bird flu. You seen any of that?
Bird flu, I have not seen. I know nothing about the bird flu, but I'm gonna say it right off the bat. Is this like a recent thing?
Very recent, yeah. So
maybe it's like the migrants brought that shit over. I don't know. That's my first guess.
Yeah, because a lot of people were saying, dude, we're getting right into it. But a lot of people were saying, like, that's what you get when you get a bunch of unvetted people coming across the border, regardless of what you think.
What is the bird flu? Which, by the way, I have no idea what it is.
It's a type of influenza, but there have been, since 2003 or 4, something like that, there have only been 250 reported cases in humans. And I think 140 of them have died. So it's about a 60% mortality rate, which is crazy, because with COVID, it was kind of like, okay, it's 0.3% or so. I want to make my own decision. Like, I don't really want to be locked down over 0.3%. 60% is a whole different ballgame. Mm-hmm. You have a bigger chance of dying than living if you get it. So I still think the same logic applies. If you want to lock down, you can. And if you don't, then you can take that risk. But, bro, I'm going to be honest. If it actually is legit and it starts going around, I am fucking locking myself down, bro.
Yeah.
60% is no joke.
60% I'm not fucking with.
Yeah. I'll have my home gym and that's that.
It's crazy because now, because we did take a little break, in between that break, so many things have happened. And like shit that we've said before is like starting to become true. Like we were saying, I mean, I think everybody was kind of saying like, yo, don't take COVID serious. And then lo and behold, they come out and they're like, yo, it's just the flu.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, they finally admitted like, okay, you can just act like you have the flu, which is fucking insane for the amount of people that got like laid off and the amount of like just chaos that that COVID caused, and then it turns out it's just the flu.
Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous.
And when you say just the flu, you mean it you can consider it like the flu.
Yeah. That's what they're saying now, and all of these fucking vaccines and shit, and all these athletes are starting to just drop, like they're cardiac arrest.
That started happening really soon after the vaccine.
And so all these people, like all these healthy athletes, are just falling. I saw one recently. Most recent one I saw was a tennis player. He was just playing, and then boom, collapsed in the middle of playing. James had I think it was a stroke. I don't know what it was. It was cardiac,
like a mini stroke.
Yeah, in practice.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, like, and then we had
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that was that was like, he had that injury before his first year at
LeBron,
USC.
Not one of his sons, like actually LeBron?
No, Bronny James, like his son.
Okay.
LeBron's son.
Okay.
And then DeMar Hamlin.
And how old is LeBron's son?
I think he's 19 or 20.
What fucking 19-year-olds are getting strokes, dude?
Yeah.
This is becoming like, and they're almost doing like the retroactive rewriting of history by making these things seem normal, as if it's always been like that. But if you go back 10 years, this kind of shit was unheard of.
Yeah.
Like seeing the most healthy people on the planet. You could say like professional soccer players are among the most healthy people on the planet. All they do is take good care of their diet and take good care of their recovery. And like from a physical aspect, they are the most healthy people. And there's all of these videos of people just dropping. Mm-hmm. Fucking dropping like flies. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been big because there's so many soccer players and tennis players, and there was that one tennis player that like refused to get it, and for a while he was banned. Who was it?
I have no idea. But he was probably in that documentary or the Netflix series.
What is it?
It's like a Netflix series about tennis players.
But it was I think it was one of like the best. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to be forced to take a medical intervention.
Yeah.
And actually, even calling it a vaccine is a bit of a misnomer because some of them are the dead virus vaccines, but a lot of what was done was actually gene therapy.
Right.
Like technically gene therapy. And then we kind of just called it a vaccine because it sort of did the same thing in the body, but it wasn't a vaccine in the traditional sense at all. And it was actually like a novel technology that we were essentially testing on the public.
Mm-hmm.
And normally the amount of red tape that you have to cut through as a pharmaceutical giant to give literally billions of people a new medical technology takes fucking years and so many studies. And because of a number of different things, and I gotta say, like, one of them was Trump's Operation Warp Speed. He was like, we're going to pump out this vaccine super quick. And I don't think it was out of evil or anything. I just think he didn't know any better and was like, we're going to fucking get it done, the Trump vaccine. And for a very long time, people on the left were saying, I'm not even going to get this because it's the Trump vaccine. And then the thing completely shifted once the administration changed.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like everyone has to get it. But there's culprits on both sides that led to what we saw with this gene therapy.
Well, we know who gained the most from it, which would be like the big companies. I actually saw, because Johnson & Johnson was the first one that people started having blood clots from. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, whoa. And I actually saw today, it popped up on my news, Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids have like forever long cancer-causing chemicals.
Carcinogens, yeah.
And it's like, that comes in direct contact with your, open wound. So you're literally putting, like, because it's a Band-Aid. So like when you get cut,
fucking carcinogens,
and you put a fucking a Band-Aid on it, thinking that it's gonna help, which it does, but then it's just putting in fucking cancer-causing chemicals into your blood. Classic Johnson & Johnson move, in my opinion.
Dude, there was this, and I know, like, you shouldn't just believe everything you see on the internet, but this one girl made a TikTok and she actually had the receipts to back it up and showed screenshots from the official websites of, it was Johnson & Johnson, I believe it was Johnson & Johnson, making a sunscreen, and one of the chemicals in that sunscreen caused a certain type of cancer, and Johnson & Johnson makes the treatment for that specific type of cancer.
That's crazy.
And it could be just coincidence, but because I don't want to just say, oh, just because that exists, like, that's for sure some kind of conspiracy. But at the very least, it's ironic.
Yeah.
That, like, they fucking put whatever they want, basically, into these products and then say, oh, by the way, we also have the treatment for it, too, from the shit that this stuff is going to cause.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference, the biggest difference that I noticed when we went to England is the difference in food labels was crazy. Did you notice that?
I didn't look specifically at anything, but I noticed everything tastes like shit. Like all the, like, I remember I tasted some protein drink and I was like, bro, this tastes like ass. And then I posted it on my Snapchat and someone was like, that's because there's no artificial, like, there's not like other shit in it that makes it taste good. Dude, like all the bad stuff.
Right. So what's crazy is that even candy's there, like the most processed shit that you normally would look at as unhealthy. And just because something doesn't have chemicals in it doesn't make it healthy. But even like Reese's or Kit Kats there, they only have like a few ingredients. When you compare them side by side to the identical product in the U.S., and I was asking people about this, and what I heard, and you guys can fact check me, I don't know if this is true, but the kind of way that they operate in European countries and England is the government has more of a skeptical approach towards food ingredients. So it's more like guilty until proven innocent when it comes to food ingredients. And you can't add something to a food product unless it's been proven to be safe. Versus in the U.S., it's the complete other way around. It's innocent until proven guilty. Right. And from what I heard, the FDA basically lets these companies decide, or they basically let them conduct their own research into these chemicals before they add them to food. So there's obvious incentive there. Mm-hmm. You're giving this multi-billion-dollar corporation essentially the keys and saying you can figure out whether or not these ingredients are unhealthy or not. Well, if they have two options, one of them is the natural, more expensive option, and another one is some artificial option that tastes the same, looks the same, acts the same, but is more dangerous. Obviously, there's a profit incentive for them to use the cheaper option and just add a bunch of shit to food, and it seems like there's very little oversight there.
Yeah, that's why I think like the majority of people who are making these things, like they might not realize how bad it is, but they're doing it more for like the profit margins and you know, making it taste better for less.
Right.
So they don't have the intent of like,
we're going to kill
everyone. Yeah, we're trying to kill everybody or make everybody fat. But I think someone does. Someone like.
There's definitely some people. Yeah. But I do agree there's not like at least from these companies, there's no incentive to kill people.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to continue to have these people eat your shit.
Right. But at the very least, there is incentive to use the cheapest options. Mm-hmm. And if you're giving these companies the ability to conduct their own trials, it's always going to come out. It's the same thing with the fucking gene therapy COVID shots. If you let Pfizer conduct its own studies into its own shot, do you think they're going to come back and say, yeah, we did our internal studies and found that our shots are fucking dangerous?
Yeah.
Of course not, because they make hundreds of billions of dollars from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you, switching topics really quick, because I fucking had so I had a Snapchat taken down today because someone had asked me about the New York earthquakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted a Snapchat. Hopefully I don't get fucking I posted a Snapchat. We're talking about YouTube? This.
I think we're chilling. We said some awful shit on here, bro.
So there's a guy who there's a guy, Pat Schneider, and in 1995 he's a geologist. In 1995 he said that we have the ability to create earthquakes, and the one in Japan, I don't remember what it's called. Starts with a K. That one it's a special. They could tell that it wasn't a real earthquake because there was no pulse wave or something like that. And so he was claiming that we had the ability to create earthquakes. And in 1996, he killed himself with a piano wire in his own house. So I posted that today on my Snapchat, and I was like, look, I don't know why people would want to be able to cause natural disasters, but I don't think that these earthquakes are natural. Because of this guy, Pat Schneider. He said XYZ. So I posted that, and everyone was like, yo, that's fucking crazy, this and that. And then it got fucking deleted for false information. Because usually I get stuff deleted all the time, and it would be like harassment or like bullying or like
foul language or whatever.
Yeah, profanity. It said false information. I was like, dude, you could look this up. Pat Schneider, you can look him up.
Right.
Killed himself with a fucking piano wire in his own house because, you know, in 1995 he was claiming that we had the ability. He was a geologist, and we create our own earthquakes. So I was saying that I don't think those earthquakes in New York are natural. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is coincidence or not, but the magnitude was like 4.8, and like the eclipse,
which is pretty intense.
Yeah,
I mean, that's no joke. But there was just one in Japan that was 7.5. Did you see that?
Yeah,
like just
they're like
recently.
they're happening all over right now. But the magnitude was 4.8.
There was two of them.
But the first big one was 4.8, and like everyone's like, oh, the solar eclipse is April 8th, 4.8, and it's like okay, that's like kind of weird, and then
that's probably just numbers.
Yeah.
Because,
and all of these earthquakes, I read there's earthquakes happening all in like the ocean right now, and it's like fucking up the water. All I know is that a lot of shit has been happening. I also read that some lady, you know, this is just in a forum, so who knows if this girl's talking shit, but why would you lie about something like this? She was saying that all of her elephants in wherever, Indonesia or something, wherever she lived, they were all like getting higher ground. Like they've all just been like moving.
Animals, they know.
Yeah. So like
especially
something's
birds.
going on, where a lot of these, I guess a lot of animals are acting differently. I haven't really noticed it myself, But people have been saying animals have been acting differently lately, which is pretty weird. I don't know if you saw Leave the World Behind.
Yeah, I did.
A movie directed by the Obamas.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
That whole if you guys haven't seen it, dude, so the poster for it.
You're unraveling right now. You're remembering everything.
Yeah, the poster for Leave the World Behind, and it had all the like names at the top because that's how they do it, right?
Yeah.
Going down the poster, it spelled BAAL, like ball, as in, I don't know if you know who Ball is or any of you guys do. It's like the devil. It's pretty much the devil. Like it's the guy. It's the devil with it's a dude with tits and a dick and a goat head. Like that's Ball. So like people.
So
worship
what's
Ball.
that name from? Like which? Do you know? Like
it was just the spelling. It was just the order of the producers whoever it was, and the order of it. It perfectly lined up. And
but is it like Christian?
Yeah.
Like Christian demon?
Christian.
Okay.
It's like the Bible, from the Bible.
Okay.
So, it spelled ball, which was like pretty concerning. And then in like the first scene, there's some symbolism where it's like there's all the clocks are like 666, like some crazy shit about this movie, directed by the Obamas. And I genuinely think, like, because you know how they say they need to tell you these things before they do them. That's why The Simpsons is always predicting shit. I think that's what that movie was like them telling us kind of like...
I definitely believe in predictive programming, and it's so hard to separate what's predictive programming from what's coincidence. And I feel like part of that is almost the point. They want to create... This sounds like so conspiratorial, like I'm just a fucking armchair conspiracy theorist, but if I'm just theorizing here, it's almost like they want to create discord in our brains so that we don't know what's legit symbolism, and then we start going a little cuckoo because we start seeing shit everywhere. And it's like, are they trying to tell us something, or are they just fucking with us knowing that some people are going to notice?
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's set all the clocks to 666 and just fuck with people. And then people are going to start theorizing, and they're not going to know what's real and not real anymore, and it almost desensitizes them. You know what I mean?
Or it distracts us from like the other shit that they could be doing.
Right. Because there's some non-conspiratorial stuff that is verifiably fucking happening. Mm. And it's like,
dude, let's talk about fucking Ryan Garcia.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. That just like immediately popped up. I was like, dude, we need to talk about Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you guys aren't, I'm sure you are familiar, you probably saw, he claimed, so he was going fucking bonkers. So here is my.
Wait, before you give your opinion on it, let's talk about what happened for people who don't know.
Okay, so he was kind of going crazy on his Instagram before anything happened. He was like posting all about like his ex-girlfriends, and he was like posting pictures of them being like, I love you, marry me. And then the next day it'd be a new girl and like, I love you, like singing, like just being super manic. And everyone's blaming drugs. Like everyone's like, oh, he's just on fucking coke because his coach, whatever. Cocaine doesn't make you do those things. That's my first argument. Like, I don't care, because that's what everyone was saying. It was like, oh, it's coke, it's coke, it's coke. I don't think drugs, especially when you're, the only drug that you could probably do getting ready for a fight would be like blow. You know, someone like him. Like, because you don't want to fuck up your training, right? He's got this Devin Haney fight pretty soon, coming up on 420.
I would say the only drugs that would cause that kind of psychosis would be like crack or meth, and you would have to do them for a long time and stay up all night until you start going into drug-induced psychosis. The only problem is you would see that. You would physically see Ryan would be emaciated. There would be bags under his eyes. He wouldn't look right. The problem is Ryan looks physically fine. Mm-hmm. He's clearly not.
Yeah, and he's like running and training.
Yeah, he's not on any kind of meth bender.
Yeah,
like he's very clearly still healthy physically. And for you to go into drug-induced psychosis, it's not like you do a line of blow and all of a sudden you start talking about demons and shit. That's the kind of thing where you're like, you've done meth for 2 weeks straight and you're peeping out your fucking windows and you're actually going crazy. Yeah. And that would be very obvious.
Yeah. So he was just kind of just being super manic on his Instagram, and then all of a sudden he's like, the last one he posted was, "We got him," and it was like a bunch of scattered letters, like someone was just pounding the keyboard. It was like a weird video, and it said like "bah," like 666, whatever. We got him, and that was the last we heard of him for like 2 or 3 days, I think it was. And then he came back, and he was like, this is when it went crazy. He was like, "They took me to Bohemian Grove, they tied me down, they fucked kids in front of me, they tortured these kids, this and that," and he was like crying on live and like obviously super distraught about it. And then he started going crazy on Twitter, like, I'm a follower of Christ, repent to the Lord, the end of the, like, this is coming. He said actually they have the power to, I think it was, they have the power to create earthquakes or cause natural disasters, like just kind of like spilling the whole fucking, like saying everything.
Spilling
and like
the
Andrew
beans.
Tate got involved into it, and they were, there's a clip of them. When it went viral, it was Andrew Tate and Ryan Garcia on a, I think a Twitter call or a Discord call. I don't know what it was, but it was some.
It was Twitter, like Spaces or whatever.
Yeah. Where like people can listen, and Tate was like, what happened? And Ryan Garcia just fucking goes crazy. And so and now he's like kind of normal, but now he's still Christian, and he's still like posting about God. And he's still saying like, repent, the end is coming. I actually saw something he posted about today, just kind of saying like more faith stuff. But my opinion on this whole situation is and I saw this somewhere, so it's not my idea, so I don't want to take credit for it, but I think he was actually trying to get in on, like, he was trying to be a part of it. He was trying to be a part of, the elites and the Illuminati for whatever reason. Maybe he wanted to like beat Devin Haney. He wanted to be involved. And he got this new tattoo on his hand, which I think he still has, and it's like it's the all-seeing eye with like a pyramid. And everyone kind of somebody noticed it, and he was like, "Yo, he's got this new tattoo." So I think all of that posting with his girlfriends and stuff was a little bit of a humiliation ritual, and it was like, okay, like, you want to be a part of us? Make yourself look like a fucking fool. Posting his ex-girlfriend's videos, "I love you." Like, he was a kid, like, literally he posted one where it was like him and his girl, they were like probably fucking 15, because he's been doing this shit for a while. He was like making out with her, and he posted like, "I'm gonna marry you," this and that, and then the next day it's the next girl. Like, all the girls that he slept with, whatever. So I think that was like a humiliation ritual. And then and that's why he was being all manic and shit. And then he went to Bohemian Grove for maybe like the actual initiation. And because he never said they like kidnapped him, he never said that. So how would they fucking get him in San Francisco to, like, how do you accidentally end up in Bohemian Grove, right? So I think he went there. He was like, all right, like, here I go. And then he realized how fucking sick and twisted this shit is, because they're raping kids. Right. They're torturing these kids. And he was like, yo, I want out. And that's when he came back, and he was like, oh my God, this and that. And then they shut him up. Remember, he posted the video. He was like, I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm talking about the fight, this and that. And they shut him up. So I think they were like, yo, we're going to fucking kill you, kill your kids, whatever it was. And now he's like being a good boy, but he's still posting this faith stuff. So I don't know if I don't know.
Maybe he realized he went over the line.
Yeah.
He's like, I just got to get back to God.
Yeah. I think he's kind of like, okay, let me get right.
Dude, there's a couple things it could be. One is that the whole thing is just like a
Fight
publicity
promo?
stunt.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's a solid chance that's just what it is, but I feel like there's way better ways to promote a fight than to just completely humiliate yourself and kind of lose the faith of your followers. Like, his own followers were in his comments saying, dude, like, I don't support you anymore. What the fuck is all this shit you're talking about? I just feel like if his goal was publicity and to promote the fight, which maybe it was, but he did it in the wrong way. Because I think it kind of had the opposite effect, where people don't really want to, they're not really fucking with Ryan Garcia anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I see his stuff now, and I'm like, I can't forget about all the weird shit that he talked about on X and stuff.
It's a crazy thing to lie about, though.
It is a crazy thing to lie, but people have lied about crazier
you got tied
shit.
down and saw kids getting raped is pretty fucking insane.
That is wild.
And we know how Bohemian Grove works and what it is. And like you just saw recently, a YouTuber snuck into Bohemian Grove. There's an Instagram account page that I follow. This guy sneaks into Bohemian Grove all the time.
I thought it's like abandoned now, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah. So like I don't know if they still do rituals there. But there's still the owl there, like the big owl and all this shit.
Or it's Moloch, the owl god, dude.
Yeah.
That is some weird shit. The fact that, because Alex Jones blew that whole thing wide open back in like 2001, and he snuck in there and filmed the whole thing. And we've definitely talked about it on the podcast before, but the most like damning thing that I ever saw that kind of confirmed like this isn't just some publicity stunt or something is when after he filmed the whole thing and uploaded it, he went up to one of the guys that was there who was, I guess the best way to describe him is like this guy was a member of the deep state, quote unquote, right? He was never directly involved in politics in the sense of being like a senator or congressman or anything like that. But this guy had served in 4 different presidential cabinets. He had been on like CNN talk shows. So he was very clearly involved in this world. And he's at Bohemian Grove dressing up like a fucking wizard and burning Moloch, the owl god, or whatever, burning the big effigy that they have there. And Alex Jones goes up to him after and he says, hey, what was that all about? Like, I just filmed that whole thing and I exposed you guys. And this guy starts like visibly tweaking on camera. He's like shaking. You can go watch. I wish I could think of the guy's name.
No,
but just look up.
I've seen it.
Yeah. And Alex goes up to him, puts the mic in his face and says, so what was that all about? And this guy starts shaking and he's like, you had no right. That was a private event. Yeah. You had no right to film any of that. And he's like shook, visibly like shocked. And regardless of what you think about all this conspiracy stuff, you got to admit it is weird that a bunch of billionaires and bankers and politicians, what you would generally call the elite of the world, got together before it was shut down, if it is shut down, at Bohemian Grove, dressed up like wizards, and burned a fucking effigy. That's weird. Yeah. And it's on video.
Sacrifices or real sacrifices,
yes.
Who knows?
That's super fucking weird, man.
Yeah. I saw, I don't know if you've seen the video of the United Airlines CEO.
What was it?
United Airlines CEO dressed up in drag and was like doing a whole like humiliation dance, like crawling on the floor.
Dude,
really
let
weird.
me just say,
everyone's fucking laughing at him.
I don't know about this Ryan Garcia thing.
Super eerie shit.
It could be the Ryan Garcia thing. Maybe it's just a publicity stunt. Maybe, I don't know what happened. Maybe he did do fucking meth for 2 weeks and is in drug-induced psychosis. I don't know what happened there. But one thing that is legit is this humiliation ritual shit that we see go on. That is super weird. These people, like John Cena came out recently, and some people said, oh, he's just doing a bit. And maybe he was just doing a bit, but he came out butt-ass naked at the Oscars or whatever and presented the award and then, like, shuffled off stage. Maybe that's just a bit, but there's tons of other examples of...
I do like how...
Spider-Man, what's his name?
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland getting, like, pounded by another... by another dude in that movie.
Yeah.
And his girl at the same time also got, like, pounded in another movie.
She got three-wayed.
Yeah, bro. And that's just, like... All these things on their own, it's like, okay, maybe that's just a really weird scene. But when you put it all together, it just seems like all these people have to do these kind of public... the only way to describe them is like humiliation rituals. Yeah. It's just weird stuff. Like, why are you doing that? Or the United CEO dressing up in drag and doing like a drag show.
Really weird. And now you got like that Boeing whistleblower just died.
That's crazy.
That Boeing
Let's
whistleblower,
talk about that,
dude. So yeah, if you guys are unfamiliar with the story, well, first of all these like problems are starting to kind of come to light. Like doors are getting ripped off of these planes. I just saw one today. A new airline or
Southwest, right?
Yeah, a new flight. Southwest. Yeah, Oregon or something. The engine. Yeah, the engine flap was like torn
just
off
came
on
off,
takeoff.
and no warnings went off.
Yeah.
Someone had to go. Someone in the cabin had to go up to the pilot and say, "Hey, dude, you know the engine is like falling apart."
And it was a Boeing jet.
It was and it was a Boeing 737-800.
Yeah.
Like one of these. So the story with Boeing, for those who don't know, Boeing, the biggest airline manufacturer. So all these different airline companies, United,
Not
Southwest.
only airline, but also like a huge military industrial company.
They create weapon systems and whatnot, but
they profit off war.
In terms of how it affects us, the biggest way it affects us is they make airplanes that we fly in. And all these companies, besides Delta, doesn't use the new models that are having problems. But United, Southwest, all these different companies, Boeing is the biggest manufacturer for the jets that they have. If you go and book a flight and look at the type of plane that you're going to be flying on, there's a 99% chance it's Boeing. And the newest models are the Boeing 737 MAX and 787 Dreamliner. They're like, I guess, revamps of old models. But this whistleblower that worked at Boeing for a very long time and was very high up in the company basically exposed Boeing and said, and he came out publicly, he resigned, came out publicly and said, these new models that are being made are, because Boeing is trying to meet certain production deadlines and they don't have the manpower to do it, or they don't have the means to do it, they're using scrap metal in certain cases, which is not like you ever heard of like airline grade steel or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be able to withstand fucking 800 miles per hour or whatever it is.
Airline grade steel is not scrap metal. They're using scrap metal for certain parts, or these planes are supposed to have a very high level of quality control. So they'll make, let's say, 10 parts. Let's say they make 10 engines, and they'll only use, let's say, the best 5, right? And they throw the rest out. What Boeing was doing is they were going and using the ones that didn't really meet the level of quality that they were looking for, and they were using them on planes that people fly on because they had to meet certain production deadlines. Anyway, this guy came out and exposed the whole thing and was about to give a testimony against Boeing in court. And he kind of knew something might happen to him, so he told, I believe it was his wife's sister or his wife's close friend, and said, hey, by the way, if anything happens, I'm not suicidal. I love my life. I don't want to die. I am not suicidal. And then like a week later, he gets fucking suicided in his own car right before he's about to deliver this testimony against Boeing. That's definitely not coincidence. But the thing is, I don't think Boeing cares. They know if they brazenly come out and just suicide this guy, 99% of people on both sides of the political spectrum, because this isn't a political issue, 99% of people are going to know that this guy got fucking killed. And those same people are still going to book flights and fly on Boeing jets, because what are you going to do? Buy your own private jet?
Yeah.
You don't have the money to do that. Okay, you can not fly anywhere then. I don't want to do that either. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to fucking cross my fingers and hope for the best. So that's where, like, you need, I mean, if I'm all for, like, small government, but if you ever do need government, it would be in a situation like this. That's where you would want the government that you elect, supposedly. We, the people, elect these officials to set certain regulations and come in and say, hey, this is wrong, and we need to do a thorough investigation of what you've been doing, and certain people need to go to prison. But that's not happening. To my knowledge, there's been no action taken against Boeing. These planes are still flying. I just flew on a 787 Dreamliner to go to Europe, go to the UK.
Yeah.
So, and I flew, and Gianna flew on a 737 MAX to go to Houston while I was there. So these planes are still flying. I don't know, man. It just seems like the only times we need our elected officials to step in, there's just crickets, just complete radio silence, because a lot of these people have stake in Boeing, or they're friends with friends that, you know, they have some connection to Boeing, and that's where you start to get into this corporate oligarchy rather than actual democracy. because everyone up there at the top, whether it's in politics or whatever it is, has connections to all these different companies, and it's one big fucking party, and none of us are invited. And it's like we just have to kind of deal with the consequences of what these profiteers are doing, you know?
I think the main thing to take away from this is like just understand that people are getting killed for speaking out loud, which and they're getting away with it. So because that means that like the police have to be like, okay, they have to go to the scene and be like, yeah, this was a suicide. So they're believing, like, there's levels to this. Like it's like a pyramid, and everyone is just kind of like in order. And I think that obviously that Boeing thing doesn't have much to do with us, but I think that symbolizes kind of how this works, how all of this works.
Because it's not just Boeing.
Yeah,
every major company is like this.
Yeah,
and it's cool that people are waking up, and
dude,
a lot of
I've
people
seen a
listening.
lot of like, maybe it's just because it's like kind of who I talk to,
confirmation bias or whatever.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people are starting to realize a lot of this fishy shit going around.
It's definitely not just who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Because I just see it. I see it in comment sections. I see it in ratios, right? Like, for a long time, even with the food ingredient thing that we were talking about, this is like the most easy example. For a long time, the average American was just kind of didn't really care and figured most of these things are safe. And honestly, I was in there. I was like, oh, for sure. The FDA definitely has done like thorough studies before they put any of these ingredients in food. I had no idea that there's almost no oversight, and that people have to die or get cancer in big numbers before ingredients are removed. Like Red 40 is still used in food, even though it's like been documented that it's not healthy. At the very least, it's not healthy, but it's still in food.
I'm sure there's some shit in there, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some shit in here. I don't want to know. Actually,
it might.
Yeah, you got Ace K, which I'm pretty sure is not great, and sucralose, which at the very least is like disrupts your digestion. Right. But I don't see sodium benzoate. I'd have to look into some of this shit, and I probably should, honestly.
I've been seeing
this guy. But point is, Brandon, that I was in that group too, and a lot of people were. But recently, when I see these kind of health, like what you would call health nut videos pop up on my feed, I notice myself agreeing with them when 10 years ago I would have been like, oh, this guy's, you know.
Yeah,
kooky.
People would tell us to stay away from like seed oils and shit. And
we were like,
like, bro, buddy. Like, I don't give a fuck. Or like all of the like Pam spray, right? And all of these things that people used to tell me like, bro, don't eat that or don't use that or whatever, this and that. And now tables have turned where I'm like super... Yeah, like my main thing is like the energy drinks because I can't really get away from that. That's kind of that's where I get all of my artificial shit in. But like I've been following this Eddie Abu guy.
Yeah, but
do you know who that is?
I've seen him, but some of the shit he says is like actually not right. But the general theme, it's almost like he uses the wrong formula to get the right solution.
Yeah,
like he'll say some shit. And I'm like, okay, I don't agree with that at all. But then he'll follow it up with, the solution is to eat whole foods. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, you know?
And so, I think that's why, like, I mean, he's got 3.5 million followers, which is fucking crazy because he literally just walks around and he's like, this is shit. Like, it's like he goes to the cereal aisle that we all know is shit. And he's like, this is shit. This is not real food. You need to eat this. Like, that's not a racist accent, by the way.
No, that's literally what he sounds like.
That's what he sounds like. And like he walks to the grocery store and that's what he does. And like at the end of the video, he's like, you need to eat. This is what I eat. Like, and a lot of people are doing animal based right now. It's kind of trendy because I think a lot of people are kind of coming around to the animal based diet where it's like, no, pretty much I'm pretty sure no carb. It's like very little. It's like maybe from vegetables, like fruit and vegetables, but it's all animal based shit, pasture raised. No antibiotics, no growth hormones. Like all of my beef, and I've only been eating red meat. I stopped eating chicken. It's eggs and red meat for me right now, and like rice. And if I could cut the rice, I would. But
rice is fine.
Rice is fine. But I would love to go full animal base and like like do it how they're doing it and kind of see how I feel after a while, and like kind of just load up on fats. Like these guys are fucking eating butter, ghee, like all these types of things where they're just fully like primal almost. And I guess 2 years ago we would definitely be like, bro, these guys are idiots, and like that was for me, it was like calories in versus calories out back then. So
which is true only from a bodybuilding perspective.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
But that's
because I would be
people
like,
take
you're
that
not healthy if you're, if you're eating fucking 5,000 calories of red meat. I'm sure it's not healthy, but it's probably healthier than 2,000 calories of
toxins,
sugar-free Jello. Like I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the only thing to look out for is anyone or any diet that sounds dogmatic, where if you ever have someone like a practitioner of a specific diet say that it's going to fix all your ailments and this is the way, they're probably full of shit. Versus if you have someone that comes from a more like practical perspective and says, listen, try to cut out the artificial stuff because that's not what we evolved to digest. Maybe some of it's safe, maybe some of it's not, but an easy thing to do is just cut all the artificial shit out, or as much as you can, and just eat whole foods, and you're probably going to be healthy. That is really the most effective, simple diet advice you can really give anyone. Now, it's going to change for certain people. Some people might be, gluten intolerant and they can't eat oats or wheat or whatever. And then some people might be lactose intolerant. They can't have milk. But, like, for the most part, those outliers can figure their specific shit out. But just generally, like, whole foods, I'd say the biggest thing is making your food at home. Mm-hmm. You can make...
You know exactly,
dude.
You know exactly what's going in it.
Because you can make your, like, buffalo chicken dip if you want, and you could say that's processed. But if you make it yourself, at least you know what's going in there. Mm-hmm. As long as you read each, if you have to put, like, feta cheese in it, read the label to the feta cheese. But if you just go out and buy something that's super processed... I know most people are not looking at the fucking labels on that. You really don't even know what you're eating. At the very least, you should know like what you're putting in your body. From there, you can make a decision. Like I have a shit ton of sweetened iced tea, which is, I'm probably having more sugar than I should, but at least I know there's like 4 ingredients in it. I know what I'm putting in my body. So it's just like some of these people say like, oh, you need to eat fucking bull testicles and that's like primal or whatever. But our ancestors actually didn't eat like all that many bull testicles, because if you kill one cow, there's only 2 bull testicles and there's like 1,000 pounds of meat. Yeah. So it's actually a very small percentage of your diet. Yeah. Or like beef liver. Like beef liver is very good. It's very nutrient dense. But if you make that 50% of your diet, like that's not 50% of a cow.
Yeah. I'm trying to get on the beef liver shit. I'm trying to get on raw milk. Things that I want to do
raw
is
milk's
raw
good.
milk.
Yeah.
And beef liver, which I don't think you can actually... It's hard to find raw milk, and if you do find it, it's expensive as shit, and 2,
I think Sprouts Farmers Market has it.
Yeah, Sprouts has it, and it's like sometimes they'll market it as pets, like it's not for humans, which is like pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that in general is a weird thing.
Yeah, because they don't want. I don't think they want people the whole conspiracy is like they don't want people realizing how good it is, how healthy it is for you, because there's no preservatives, because the raw milk's gonna spoil super fast, but there's no preservatives, it's not put through this fucking thing of, I don't know, what is it called when they
pasteurization?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just heating the milk, and the theory is, and I do agree with this, is regardless of what you think about like how healthy it is, at the very least raw milk has live bacteria in it. And a lot of these bacteria are good for your gut. They're good for digestion. And a lot of your health kind of stems from your gut health. And anytime you introduce a profit incentive anywhere, you have to look at like the potential outcomes of it. Mm-hmm. And as crazy conspiratorial as it might sound, there is a profit incentive for food companies and for drug companies to want people to not eat healthy. That it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. There's a clear profit incentive. The healthier people live, the less drugs they need, and the less of your processed shit they're going to buy. Do I have to be Einstein to figure out that they're not going to want that? They want you to be on a bunch of different drugs because they make money every time you fucking buy them. Duh. You know? So, and that's why there was kind of like resistance against hormone therapy, because getting like a lot of these health issues start to happen with age, and a big reason for it is your testosterone starts to get lower. And if you get these older men on TRT, a lot of downstream issues fix themselves, right? Blood pressure problems, lipid problems, like problems that happen from being too sedentary. Well, all of a sudden, if you take TRT, your test was at 200 and now it's at 800. All of a sudden, you're going on more runs. You're going to the gym. And a lot of your health problems, it's like, oh, I don't need my blood pressure medication anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need my lipid medication anymore. Why would, or rather, why wouldn't these big drug companies that sell these medications, why wouldn't they lobby against hormone therapy? Unless they get into it themselves and then they can make money off of it, you know? But it's much more cost. They make more money by giving you a steady supply of pharmaceutical drugs than they do
like
from just giving you one shot of test a week. That's not really that much money.
Yeah. I mean, my dad, he's been on TRT for quite some time now, and he lost so much weight. He's fucking playing pickleball. He's 70.
He's really good at pickleball too.
He's like fucking, he's a beast. So he's
he was getting all intense as he was serving. He's like,
he's
fuck.
like, maybe it makes him a little bit more emotional, but it makes him more competitive.
But in a good way, like vital.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He's more. I see it in his mood. Like every time I see him, it's like it's not who I kind of remember. Like when I was younger, because he wasn't on TRT, but now I see him now and I'm like, this is like a totally different guy. Like this is how I imagine him when he was like 30.
Right.
Like just like more energized, cheerful, laughing more, whatever. So
yeah, and even all those things, as like esoteric as it sounds, those things are also good for your health.
Yeah.
Just like being in a better mood, laughing more.
Yeah. I mean,
makes you want to be more active.
And like crippled, like you're gonna want to fucking kill yourself.
Right. And if you're sad and it's like hormone based, you're not going to want to go to the gym. You're not going to want to go on a run. Like it's totally you can either spiral up or spiral down. And a lot of the time, if you have low test, it's like a case of spiraling down. And that happened to me last year when I needed surgery, and I just was waiting for MRI results and waiting for surgery, waiting for diagnosis, stuff like that. I kind of like stopped pinning because I got so kind of just like, not even sad isn't even the right word, just like fucking, I just turned into a beta.
Yeah.
That's really the best way to put it. I was just like, fuck
exist.
all this. I'm just existing playing Fortnite.
It's funny because literally everybody goes through this. Fucking, I don't think he'll mind if I say this because I'm pretty sure he's told his followers and shit, but like Marco stopped pinning.
Yeah.
Like it's just something that I've done it before. Like you just stop and it's just a snowball.
Yeah,
it's just a snowball, and then it accumulates so much, and then you kind of like snap out of it. And you're like, "Yo, bro, what am I doing?" And then as soon as you like start, pinning again, and then you start to feel like a fucking human.
Yeah, and we're not talking about blasting. We're just talking about TRT level dosages. But it got to the point where like I was only pinning one every 2 weeks and missing like most of my shots, and my test levels were probably very low. And you might think like, well, James, why didn't you just pin? It takes very little effort. It's not even about that. It was just like this feeling of like, I don't even deserve this testosterone. I'm not even training. What the fuck am I doing with my life?
What's the point?
But that feeling also ironically came from not pinning as much. Because when you have low testosterone, you have less motivation to do shit. So it was just like a downward spiral. And then I got my surgery, started blasting again. And I'm like,
are you hype? I know you're hype.
What
to
about?
Like get back into bodybuilding?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean now
it's been some time. Gianna and I were talking. We were like, bro, this guy's way bigger right now than he was before your last prep. And if you grow into your like, remember how you started like taking a little bit more shit, and then you really started to like look crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If that
happens again,
it's gonna be fucking ridiculous.
It's the only thing is I get so many of my friends and Gianna, they all like hype me up. So now I feel like I'm almost setting this expectation that I need to get like top 3 at my pro show, which is a really kind of lofty goal. Cause remember how I was telling you, like competing at the local show is easy because you're going against like complete newbies, but competing at the pro qualifier is harder because everyone there has won their local show.
Right.
Well, this is even a step higher.
So
Now
everyone
everyone
qualifier.
Yeah, they got their pro card.
Yeah.
So you don't have to win your qualifier, but you at least have to do really well. And dude, like I see some of these guys at pro shows and what they look like, and I'm like, am I really gonna look like that when I cut? Maybe. I definitely surprised myself last time I did a prep, but
I mean, bro, you're really big. Like this guy is like fucking 3-dimensional. Like it's pretty crazy. I even posted. I don't think you have anything to worry about. As long as you like do whatever the fuck bodybuilders do, like as long as you do it and you follow the plan or whatever it is, like I think you'll do just fine. Because even like when I talked to Eric or I posted a picture of you on my Snapchat literally like 30 minutes ago, everyone's like, bro, this guy's fucking massive. He just walks around like that. So,
dude, that's sick. Yeah, it's because I can't really see myself. Like I can look down, I can see my legs, but I don't really see what other people see.
Yeah.
And even when I look in the mirror, it's like I know I'm big. I don't have body dysmorphia in that sense, but I definitely see the things that I need to work on because that's just natural. But I don't see the general like mass. I never get a fresh look of like, damn. Yeah. The only time I did get a fresh look is when I tripped on acid. And was
that recently?
No, this was we were living at the old house.
Okay.
Or the one that you moved out of.
Yeah.
And remember I went on that super long walk and then I came back home and I needed to shower.
Dude, you went on like a fucking
Dude, I was gone
like
for
6-mile walk or something.
Yeah, I felt amazing. And all the water came out of my face because I was so like I'd been walking. I looked so handsome. And then I wanted to shower because I was all greasy and I like got naked to get in the shower and I walked by the full length mirror and I almost saw myself from like a non-bodybuilder perspective. And I'm like, damn, do I have a fucking mental illness? Like, how am I that big? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I was seeing myself with a fresh set of eyes. I wasn't really.
That's probably how normal people look at you. They're like, this guy's got a mental disorder, bro. Or like any like IFBB pro, they see bodybuilder. I mean, even before I was into bodybuilding, I would look at these guys and be like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. And dude, that's still like, that's how I probably used to see my current level. Like, oh, I don't want to get that big, but once you get into it, it's like you really enjoy the process and getting better. And getting better in bodybuilding means getting bigger. So,
and if you have a competitive spirit, you want to win.
Yeah.
So like you need to get bigger.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. But I wasn't really like getting hard like down on myself and being like, oh, I've got a mental disorder. I was more so just like intrigued by. I hadn't ever seen myself in that light because you've taken mushrooms and it's a similar feeling of almost like remember looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing yourself in a new way.
Yeah.
You haven't seen yourself before. Dude, I caught myself as I was walking by and I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
That's what other people see. Damn. Like, do I intimidate people?
Yeah.
Do they judge me off the bat for meeting me?
Do.
Which, you know, I don't love that. Yeah. I don't love just intimidating people just by like fucking existing.
Yeah.
Actually not a very confrontational person.
Comes with the job.
Yeah, I guess
I was gonna say it's funny, like back when we were doing episodes, because you just mentioned like mushrooms and stuff. Like, I don't know about you, but like I've not done drugs. Like I feel like I got all that kind of got that all over my system over there in Houston. Because dude, guys, when we were like making these podcasts before, like we were kids and we had money, so like we were like experimenting, like doing drugs and shit. And looking back on it, like I'm glad we did.
Yeah,
I'm glad we did.
I wouldn't take any of it back.
Yeah,
but it's definitely good that I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, it's good that we're not fucking around anymore.
But there's still a time and place. Like I would take MDMA again. You know, I'd do acid again, but only if it presented itself as an opportunity. I wouldn't just do it. We were almost just doing it because everything was so new and we like wanted to.
Yeah,
but now
fun.
it's like, well, I
honestly don't want to.
Yeah,
like,
if someone offered me Molly, the first thing I would think of is like, well, I probably won't get my meals in if I eat that.
Yeah.
And like I got bodybuilding to focus on,
there's things you need to do. It's like, dude, I gotta wake up tomorrow. Like I got shit to do. Thinking about that,
Fuck,
it's
we're
like
getting
damn.
old, bro.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy because we're only I'm 23, you're 24, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like we're old, and we were 20, 21 at the time. But even I don't think I've ever mentioned. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but there were times where like I was taking Molly, like pretty often. Maybe like it was like a 2 or 3
Once a
month
week.
span where it was like once every couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was kind of just like for what?
Well, you went hard at like everything.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad or good thing. You just like I know other people like that where you find something new, whether it's a drug or a hobby or whatever it is, and you go like super hard for a while and see how it affects you, and kind of it's almost like you speed run that phase of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You like speed ran the Molly phase in like 2 months, and then that was it.
Yeah.
You know, where some other people might develop a drug problem because they can like never get out of that phase.
Yeah.
Versus you, it's like at first I would be concerned about things, and then towards the end, after living together for years, I was like, oh, he's just having another like,
Yeah.
you know,
It'd be like anything, like
discovered Molly.
bodybuilding, like because I was really into bodybuilding and I like, really wanted to do
and
it.
when you got into it, you got like crazy fucking into it.
Yeah. And then I was like, all right, I'm good on that. And like golf, I got really into it. I'm trying to get back into it actually though.
But now it's more like just a chill hobby.
Yeah.
But when you got into it, you were
I was like taking lessons. I was going like 2-3 times a week, like really trying to fucking get good. Which
have you had that phase with pickleball yet? Because it's coming, bro.
Well, we just play what I don't have enough people to play with, to be honest. Like, because I come in here in the mornings and there's no one here, so. But I have gotten a little bit addicted to pickleball. It's really fun. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like golf, but now I'm trying to get back on my golf grind. I just don't have that much energy for like the time go to the lessons and shit. Because I used to go to the lessons. I really try to get good, and I was pretty good, but then I let off, and the winter came. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, and golf also is just a long-winded thing in general.
Yeah, when you have to grind it.
Yeah, and also just like playing it. You go out there and you hit a ball for fucking 200 yards, and then you walk over to it, and then you do it again.
Yeah,
you know?
I played this morning. I played today, and I tracked it on my watch because I'm doing this challenge thing. That was like my outdoor workout. I walked the whole way, and Eric drove the cart because I was playing with Eric.
Oh, right, I forgot the golf carts exist.
Yeah, he was driving the golf cart. I walked fucking 6 miles today, bro. 6 fucking miles.
That's insane,
on my
dude.
app.
That's
and
crazy.
It's insane. I came here. I was like, bro, I'm so tired.
Yeah, because I noticed when we first started, I'm like, you good? And you're like, yeah, man, let's just get it done.
Yeah. But now I'm good. But it was just like it's so exhausting. Not saying that it's like a physically demanding thing, but it's just like it's exhausting.
Just being on your feet.
Yeah.
In general is just tiring.
Yeah.
And doing anything that requires mental attention for long spans of time is just tiring. It's like your brain only has so much fucking juice, and especially in the current like iPad kid era, which I totally have like fallen victim to.
Yeah, me too.
Our attention spans are just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And we don't even have the worst of it. Me and you can sit here and have a conversation for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're fine, and then we'll get on our phones after. But like the Gen Alpha kids, like the up and comers.
Is that what it is, Gen Alpha?
I think that's the new one, yeah. Maybe they're too young to even own a phone at this point. I think that only started like a couple years ago. But like the younger Gen Zers, dude, the attention span is fucking fried. They could not like, I don't know what they're going to do when they get older. Because how are they going to have.
It's pretty scary, dude.
Yeah, man.
Because then it's like, okay, what the fuck is my kids going to. Like, what are my kids going to
Well,
be like?
you at least have control over that to some degree.
Yeah,
You'll be able to set screen time and whatnot.
Like,
yeah.
Because they're going to go to school and then, I don't know.
Sure, but assuming we continue doing well for ourselves, we can send them to a good school where, hard work is incentivized and they can't just, like, go vape in the fucking bathroom and shit.
Yeah.
But...
what are kids doing nowadays?
Dude, the public... we can get into that, but the public school... I saw an email that was leaked, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they want to change the grading system so that an A is like 85 to 100 and a B is like 70 to 85, and an F is like 0 to like 25, which is crazy. If true, big if true, bro. Because I can that is some shit that would happen nowadays. Like I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because what are you going to do? You really only have 2 options. One is continue on the path we're on with the current grading system, and everyone's just going to be failing.
Why not just, like, make the curriculum easier?
Because then we're just going to have a generation of fucking artards, bro.
Yeah.
Some other fix needs to happen, because the fix of just, like, lower the standards, that's not the right fix,
I fucking hope TikTok gets banned.
I do too.
Sucks.
Because
well, actually, sorry. TikTok is good because it's ran by China.
Sorry. TikTok in China is good.
Yeah.
Because they incentivize, they show cool. Bro, it literally reminds me of when I was young. Remember like old Vsauce? Did you ever watch Vsauce when you were... Okay, well, a lot of you guys probably watched Vsauce. He, like, these content creators that used to pop off, a lot of them would be like educational content, but it didn't seem educational, so you wanted to click on it. One of them was called, like, one of the coolest things, one of the coolest videos Vsauce ever made was What Will We Miss? And it was talking about all these big events that are going to happen in the future, whether it's 100 years down the line or 1,000 years or 1,000,000 years. And if a teacher were to try to teach me that in school, I probably would kind of be zoning out a little bit. But having like really good content creators make informative educational content is like the best thing you can do, especially in today's day and age, because that's what kids need. Is they need someone who's like, hey, what's up, Vsauce? Michael here. Yeah. You know, someone kind of in your face, and it almost trips the wires, and you think that it's content, but you're actually learning something at the same time, rather than just complete brain rot. Remember that Instagram page I showed you? Get Off IG Daily? Yeah.
No, I still,
dude,
it still saves
y'all should
me.
check it out. Get Off IG Daily is the name of the page with like underscores between each word, and it gets me every time, bro. It'll be some brain rot like, hi there, my name is blah, 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 and it's like some just stupid ass shit, and then all of a sudden it'll be like the Vine boom, and it's Soulja Boy from what fucking show? Anyway, it's like this actor waking up and kind of looking around, and the fucking caption is like, me after waking up from fucking 30 minutes in Reels hypnosis. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. I actually was hypnotized. Like, why was I watching the beginning to this video?
Yeah. Dude, and it gets me every time. I catch myself, I'm driving, and I'm fucking scrolling Reels.
That's bad, bro.
Because I'll look up, because it's happened to me probably in the last like 2 months, like maybe once or twice, where I'm literally like scrolling, and I'm like looking at it, and it's like just scrolling by, and then I'll be like, wait,
what am I doing?
What am I doing?
I'm driving.
Yeah, I'll be like, what? And I put it away, but I genuinely like it, because I think my mind knows like, okay, yo, that's not good. So whenever I start doing it, I catch myself, but it's just almost like muscle memory. Like I'm in the car, I'm like just chilling, maybe at a light, and then I'll pull up Reels, and then I'm driving, and I'm like, yeah, like fucking swiping, bro. Crazy shit.
That's
shit.
Next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even judge, because like I don't do that, but in general, like it's super easy for me to get caught. And one thing I've noticed that I really do need to change is Gianna will like be talking to me, and if I'm already watching a reel or I'm like reading something, I literally don't hear her. And she's like, she'll like ask me the question again, or be like, so what do you think? And I'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Were you just talking to me?
Yeah.
And, you know, she also does that to me too sometimes, so it's kind of even, but like I probably do it to her more. It's not like I do it every interaction we have. I'm not a bad boyfriend, but there's sometimes where she'll say, no, you didn't fucking hear me because you're always on your fucking phone. And I'm like, she's right, dude. I need to stop doing that. This is like human interaction. This fucking supersedes whatever bullshit I'm watching. Yeah, dude.
This is what matters. Even like we're having this conversation right now, but we're fucking hooked up to all these cameras and mics and shit.
Yeah,
like,
but at least we're still like having a conversation. Yeah. We're not just like brain rotting sitting here on like, you know, watching shit with Subway Surfers underneath it. Should we put Subway Surfers under the whole Mogcast, bro?
Yeah, whoever's editing this, we don't know. Just have Subway Surfers under it. Yeah. But anyways, listen to this shit. This shit sucks. If you guys don't follow me on any other platform, my Snapchat got taken down.
And you lost a lot of money.
Yeah, I had like been posting on this one Snapchat for like 2 years, and my goal was to like I grinded that Snapchat to become like a Snapchat creator. I went to fucking meetings with these people.
With Snapchat?
Yeah, like online Zoom meetings, like with representatives to like talk about what I need to do to like become a creator. And I got the star. Star doesn't mean you're paid. Star just means like you're a creator, you're a verified creator, and like they can push your shit out to the Explore page, to the Discover page. So I got that, and then like 6-7 months later, around last November, I remember it was Thanksgiving. I remember my parents were with me, and I got this like email, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm fucking monetized on Snapchat. So it was like that was like one of the greatest days of my life, no joke, because I was like, I finally fucking did this.
Yeah.
Started grinding out the content, making around 15 grand a month from there,
That's
which is really good, like unreal. And then
you could basically do Snap full time.
Yeah. And I never withdrew the money, which is my own fault. I never withdrew it because my thing was like, I'm gonna keep this money in here so I can never spend it. And then on my birthday, coming up in May, I was like, I'm gonna withdraw it and have fun, do something with it. And so that was the thinking behind it. And then and one day I wake up and I had called someone gay on my story, and he was a avid swipe upper. So like he was
one of your fans.
Yeah, he was one of my Snap members. And so I called him gay as a joke, and then it got reported, and then I got locked out of my account. I got permanently locked out, and I learned that it was actually like a manual ban. So from someone I think who it is, I think I know who it is, but like I got manually banned. I can't get the money out.
Why do you think you know who it is?
Because one of the people who works with Snapchat is like, she's like, or this person is like the head of
some shit
talent, yeah, and so the head of the creator fund, and I think she manual banned me because I was. So everyone's like, bro, get it back, like get it back. So I've hit up like, we've talked to like, bro, 10 different people probably, not 10, 5 or 6 different people who we were gonna pay like thousands of dollars to get this shit back because it's worth it. If I pay someone 10 grand and I get my 30 back and then whatever I make in the future, it's worth it.
Right.
So we're gonna pay like 10 grand here, 10 grand here. We're like promising these people, yeah, we're like, do it, figure it out. And everyone came back and they're like, nah, it's impossible. And so I found out that it was like, someone had told me, yo, I think you're right. This is like a manual ban. We can't undo it. So fucking sucks. That's my story. But
you made enemies with a high up there, bro.
It sucks. It sucks. Honestly, it was like really
And what sucks even more is that it was a joke.
Yeah.
You literally were joking around with one of your fans and poking fun at him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even bullying.
Yeah.
But they probably interpreted it that way, and that was that.
Mm-hmm. I've had shit get removed just by bots, like the algorithm removing shit, which I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And my account never got taken down for that. But then this one, it fucking gets taken down. I remember I woke up one morning and I was like, I woke up the morning of and I was like, dude, I sent it to Harry because I was like, I didn't know who would help me.
Mm-hmm. He
was like, oh, we'll get it back. We never got it back. So really
that's a fucking the tragedy of the 21st century right there.
It's crazy because like they're literally they canceled me. Like I can't say because now on my new account, like I try to be more PC. I've never called anyone gay on my new account. I don't cuss as much.
Dude,
this morning I got shit taken down from whatever we talked about earlier. But
I will say I've never had anything taken down, but I've had things say limited reach.
Yeah,
like all the time.
Yeah,
have you had that? You've obviously.
I don't get that on my new one because I'm not a creator.
It's
only something where you're a creator that you get limited reach.
Right.
But on my old account, I had limited because like driving. You can't
really.
If you take a video and you're the driver of the car, if you take a video, it'll say limited reach. But it's really smart.
So
if you have someone hold it in the passenger and record you, you'll be good. It's honestly really smart.
So this can't be AI doing this shit. This has to be manual checks.
I have no idea.
There's got to be someone looking at your shit saying, "Oh, this guy's driving and snapping."
I don't know. I honestly figured it was AI.
If AI can distinguish that, that's pretty impressive.
I figured it was AI.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Cause I like.
We literally getting canceled.
Some of this stuff, I get it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, and it'll get limited reach. But some of it will be like, I'll post a screenshot of someone's DMs that they sent me on Instagram, and no Instagram logo or anything, but it can detect that it's from another app, and it will say this features commercial promotion, or even like. One of my followers kept swiping up and saying that I had a big head or something, or that he couldn't see my ears because my head was too big.
Uh-huh.
And all I did was screenshot his responses and say, like, this guy loves ears. And I was just joking around. And it said, it could be privacy invasion. because you're screenshotting someone's Snapchat responses.
Oh, interesting.
So it's privacy invasion, and it blocked all of them.
Interesting.
But I'm a little concerned at this point because it's almost every day I have something like that at this point. And I don't want someone at Snap to say, all right, that's enough. Yeah, that's enough strikes for you. You're done.
You're banned.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the AI is smart. And I know you wanted to talk about AI, but it's still recording. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I'm fucking itching like crazy. I have like this seasonal eczema that I recently got from, and I think it's because where I moved, it's really dry up where I live. It's
it's more dry.
Yeah, it's more dry up in these mountains.
Damn.
And ever since I moved there, I started getting like, dude, like look at my skin. It's fucking white.
Peeling. Yeah, right in there. I get that too. I think it's from arm wrestling.
I get these. Yeah, that's just chalk. I get these like bumps, these little like blister. Like, dude, it's disgusting. But I'm gonna tell you guys because maybe you can help me. It's like these little small blister. Like they have liquid in it, and I can pop them.
Oh yeah. There, and it's like it doesn't hurt or anything. It's just like plasma, like clear liquid.
Yeah. And then I itch though, so it's like an eczema thing. So the insides of my hands, I don't know, but nasty
I get
shit.
If it makes you feel any better, I got a nastier one. I get seborrheic, or however you pronounce it, dermatitis in my eyebrows. And I think it was caused by maybe a fungus or something in the first place, but I never properly treated it because you have to go to a dermatologist, and it's just like a whole process. So sometimes I'll be talking to someone for like a long time, and then I'll go look in the mirror, and there's like a big flake of dry skin.
Oh, it's just dry skin?
Yeah, but it's not like regular. It's not just dry skin. It's like it's flaky. Like it happens like because
dandruff,
of
maybe? Eyebrow dandruff?
But it's like big chunks of dandruff, like a whole piece of my skin will come off and it'll be like floating in my eyebrow. And I'm like, there's no way that person that I was talking to didn't just notice that for the last 20 minutes. It makes me feel so embarrassed, bro. And then I'll go in the mirror and I'll just be like scratching, getting all the fucking dry skin out. Yeah. And the only thing that helps it is just like using the Gorilla product, the Kosh Youth Serum. Mm-hmm. And I'll use like a mascara brush and just like brush it into my eyebrows.
You ever try beef tallow?
Nah, that's the natty shit.
Yeah, you should try beef tallow.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Put it on your eyebrows.
Or coconut oil is another good one. Dude, I've been thinking about like natty maxing in terms of skin products and stuff. Because I'm thinking about, even with fragrances, like recently I used to like spray it a lot on my forearms, and now I mainly do it on my shirt. And then I'll just do like one behind the neck. Because I'm thinking, I don't really know what's in these. Yeah. It definitely can't. Oh, it can't all be natural chemicals.
Not good for you.
Some of them are like essential oils, which those are probably fine. But there's definitely some like artificial fragrances in there that maybe they're fine for you, but like I have no idea if they are.
Yeah. So, have you seen you know the things that you plug into your wall? Yeah. And have the scent? Yeah. Have you seen the shit that's going on with those?
No.
They're known to have like the same shit that makes you gay. What's it called?
Atrazine. No way.
Or what's like the blanket
same shit that makes you gay?
What's like the blanket term or the umbrella like
like endocrine disruptors or something?
I think something those, and maybe it has something to do with
hormones.
Like, it changes your hormones.
Fuck,
essentially.
Dude.
So like all those like plug-in things that like to have the essential oils or whatever it is, it's like known to. It's actually a pretty new thing I saw, but I stopped using them. I was like, yo, this shit's gonna make me gay. And I think candles too.
You know what actually made you gay back in the day, bro?
Tap water?
Tren. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Wait, who was it you telling that super
wasn't gay.
It was like the funniest fucking Tren story, bro. It was either you or Weston, but it was on Mogcast.
It was?
Yeah. It was so funny.
No one did
like it was either you or Weston, but it was like, I'm not gay, but like I had a dream. It was like the gayest dream.
I don't think that was me, bro. I don't think that was me. Funny, that was definitely not me.
Nah, that wasn't me.
But yeah, those like the I mean, if we're gonna go into that, all the 19 Nor talk, like the Deca.
Yeah.
Definitely makes you a different person. That shit makes you a different person for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll probably ever touch that type of stuff again. I mean, you're gonna have to.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't like with 19 Nors. I just keep it very low. Like I do a little bit of DECA for joint cushioning and just overall like injury prevention. But
What do you
remember when
right
I
now?
ran DECA only?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like it was good for my gains, but dude, the way it made me feel, I was just like, I don't know. I was just off. Off is the only way I can put it. I just felt off, felt weird. And Tren was fine for me. I never used a lot of it at once though. The highest I ever got to was like 150 a week. And I was dieting too. Honestly, it made me feel great. I don't know if it was the Tren. It could have been the test as well. Or honestly, it could have just been dieting down, almost getting into that autophagy of like fasting. Like semi-fasting because you're on low
and you're starting
food.
to look good. You like feel confident. You're
Yeah,
like, oh,
and
fuck
you
yeah, dude,
you
I
got
look
some
good.
spring in your step because you're lighter, you're leaner. You just, I don't know, doing all that cardio too.
Yeah,
I think all those things combined. I was talking today at arm wrestling practice about like some people were asking me about bodybuilding, and I said no. Prep was actually, I felt great until like the last 3 weeks.
you think you feel better on prep?
Oh yeah,
rather
than a
than
bulk.
bulking?
Yeah, dude, I'm so sick of being like tired all the time.
Yeah,
Just
just eating.
And and it's not like, I know it's not my diet at this point, in terms of like nasty shit, because I really cleaned up my diet a lot. It's just the calorie consumption.
Yeah.
Is just a lot, and also being on growth. I got back on growth, and I noticed that I'm just like sluggish. I hate that feeling of just being sluggish.
No, that's the worst. The fuck? No, it's the ice. It's the ice.
Oh,
machine.
okay.
We're in this gym alone, and it's like after hours too. So,
Yeah.
did you know that the warehouse got broken into one time?
Which one?
Like our warehouse, the Young LA
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah.
Would they steal clothes?
No, they
Give me some of these teas.
they broke in. I don't know if I should say this. It's probably okay. They just broke in thinking it was something else, and then they kind of like looked around, like
Let's smoke weed here, dude.
yeah, they went through the no, it definitely wasn't that. It was like they were looking for shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were wearing like masks and hoods and shit.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. It was all on camera.
And they're
Oh
like,
wait, no,
it's
this
just
place got fucking broken into too. Actually,
No way. When?
yes.
Fuck, I train here alone at night, bro.
No, it was a while ago. It was the craziest camera footage because there's a camera at the front door. These guys sawed it open, like with a buzzsaw. You just see like a bunch of these sparks, and they came in and they took. There was nothing in here because it was before it was like they didn't realize it was a gym, and it was also wasn't fully built, so none of like. Fuck, I don't know if I should say. None of this shit's here, I guess.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna do? Steal weights? So they
Yeah,
ended up
what are you
just
gonna steal,
stealing,
a fucking pool
They ended
table?
up just stealing the wireless speakers that
Oh.
that Robbie had bought.
All that, dude, they probably spent more fucking having to get a new buzzsaw after that
Yeah.
than it did from the speakers,
Yeah.
bro. Holy shit. Yeah, there's not really much to even steal here. It's a gym.
Yeah, this place sucks. Don't ever. This place, I would never steal from here.
Unless you are a real fitness enthusiast.
Yeah, you could steal a bunch of weights. That's
Please
about
steal all the Arsenal equipment so we can get some panada in
shit.
here. Yeah, bro. Get some
it. Is that better? The panada stuff?
The panada stuff generally is, but also like just the like, funnily enough, the shit you see at commercial gyms is actually like really good equipment, like Life Fitness or Hammer Strength.
Yeah, I see Life Fitness every. Well, if you go to LA Fitness, you see Life Fitness.
It's actually like, in terms of not just how it's built, but the movements. The movements are just like, wow, this feels really good. Some of the Arsenal stuff is good. I don't want to shit on them too much, but like the chest press they got is just pretty ass, bro.
Yeah.
It starts like inside and
Yeah,
it kind of
yeah.
like goes out as you press it. Like, what the fuck?
I
is
do
this?
like the laying down. This one.
Yeah. That one's good.
I like
the
this.
the chest fly.
Yeah.
No
I've been
zins
trying
for
to get
you
back
on this
my shit.
podcast?
What?
No zins for you on this podcast?
Dude, I haven't been using any stimulants besides caffeine lately. Like for the past 2-ish months.
You trying to reset? Or
No,
you
I just like
kind of.
I don't know. I kind of like I use Zins, but I kind of do it more for like I kind of make jokes about it and stuff more for the content because it's funny. But I don't really like love that. I don't like doing them, to be honest. Like I like doing the 3 milligram. 3 milligram.
What about a 10?
While I'm doing, yeah. See, I can't do that because it almost it sets me back. Like if I'll do 3, I feel good. Like I feel like it's helping me.
Yeah.
But if any more than that, unless I'm drunk, I'm like,
Right.
okay, I don't need that. But like I'll smoke cigarettes and I'll use like 6 milligrams.
I'll smoke cigarettes.
I'll smoke cigarettes if I'm drunk. Like
Right.
then I crave the nicotine. But when I'm sober, like it really just coffee or energy drink and I'm good. I don't need anything else.
I actually, the biggest thing for me was I just stopped I stopped drinking caffeine when I wake up, so no more coffee. So here and there I'll get coffee, but for the most part, like, it's not a part. Because I just felt like I was using it to wake up. And I'm like, no, I want to have that kind of natural energy in the morning. So the only caffeine I use now, this is different because I didn't get great sleep last night, and also we're doing a podcast, so I wanted to be awake for it. But I really only use caffeine now pre-workout. I'll just do a scoop, and that's all my caffeine for the day.
That's solid. That's really good.
Because I want a better workout. And if I feel like if I drink caffeine in the morning to wake up, and then I use it before the gym too to like wake up again, it's like, when am I not on fucking caffeine besides being asleep? I want to use it for what it's intended for, to like get extra energized and have a good lift. So
yeah, I use it pretty often. I'll wake up, coffee, sometimes espresso, and then like I'll do pre-workout, and then by 4 p.m. I'll drink energy drink. So I'm probably around like, what's one scoop of Gorilla? 185, right?
I think it's 180. Yeah, 182.
180, and then 90 coffee, and then 300. So that's like 500.
That's pretty good. It's 500 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
fuck. When I say it out loud, it's shit ton.
You're like, shit, I have a problem, dude.
Yeah. Dude, so Eric stopped drinking caffeine for like 3 months. Like, he was a daily drinker. He stopped. He was like, first 2 weeks were fucking horrible. But then he said that he would wake up like non-grog. Like, he would just wake up and he'd be good. Like, no grogginess at all. And then throughout the whole day until like 7 p.m., he'd be tired. So he had energy the whole entire day until about 7 p.m.
when he wants to wind down anyway.
Yeah. So he was good, and then he started drinking it, and it like immediately fucked him. He literally told me yesterday that he was wondering why he's been so tired lately, and it's because he started drinking caffeine again. And that's why he's tired.
Dude. All right, maybe
and
I literally
told him, I was like, bro, I wish I could quit caffeine. Like, I would do it. Because what you just described to me sounds insane.
Have you tried it before, like quitting caffeine?
Yeah, I get headaches, bro.
Same. That's like physical.
Yeah, I'm
addiction.
like dependent. I'm literally dependent on caffeine.
Hell yeah.
I get headaches, and I also get, I don't know, but the 2 times I've gotten migraines before was I didn't have coffee in the morning. So I don't know for sure, because like also it's your eyes and like little things. But I've had 2 migraines recently in the past like year.
So what is a migraine? Because I get like different. Is it just a really bad headache behind the eyes?
It's like, so first my vision.
Not just, but like
I know when when I'm about to have a migraine because my vision gets really like dotty.
Oh shit! So it's legit like a migraine, like the disorder.
Yeah. So I know that I'm about to get a migraine because I can see it, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like I'm about to get a migraine. So sometimes I'll smoke weed, and it like kind of helps it, but what
about aspirin?
I've never tried it.
Oh, you should try that. Yeah, because that's like headache medicine. That's like what it's for.
So it's
a blood thinner.
For me, it just really hurts to, like, I just have to close my eyes. So
damn, dude.
Yeah, it's like, and it's just so stimulating, and it's kind of just like a pounding, and it's all, for me, it's like in the front of my head. So I like to go like this. I like to like put my head down like this.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I know that Erin Maloney she used to have it, but like disorder, like she'd get them every day or, like multiple times a week.
I know some people like that.
And she got some kind of like pressure point pierced in her ear or somewhere.
I've heard that.
She got some kind of thing pierced, and it went from, I'm just going on memory here, but it went from like a couple a week down to like 1 a month or something. Like it really fucking fixed them.
I've heard that.
But I've never had I've had really bad headaches where it's like a pounding headache, but I wouldn't call that a migraine. Yeah. It's just like a really bad headache.
I don't know why I've gotten them. I think it could be because my stigmatism or whatever it's called. Because they say like sometimes if your one eye is a little bit crooked, and you're like and you're not wearing your glasses,
you're trying to focus on something, and your brain's working overtime. Kinda.
Yeah, and then it comes. But it's funny because I see like these swirls. Like as I'm starting,
that would scare me, bro.
And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I literally make sure that I'm not driving because it fucking hurts so bad that I don't want to drive. So like I'll go home and I'll go on my couch, bro, and then it starts to hit me.
When you get it, does it feel similar to like a headache behind the eyes? Like is that how you would describe the pain?
No, I think it's different. I don't know if you guys have had one. Let me know in the comments. But for me, it's like a totally different feeling than a headache. Because I've had headaches before, but like a migraine is like, to me, it's totally different.
Like more pain rather than ache.
Like ache, exactly. It's more of a It's more painful than an ache.
That sucks.
Because you can like if you have a headache, it's like fuck it, bro. Like you can just go drink water, you'll be good.
Yeah.
But like migraine, it fucking puts you out, bro.
Shit, dude.
I want to smoke and sit in a dark room.
Fuck.
And I have no idea why I get them. I've gotten them twice, only 2 times I can think of. I didn't have maybe it's the caffeine. I don't know. But if that's the case, I'm never quitting, bro.
Yeah. So you got a house. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
it's been a while. There's been a lot that's happened since the last Mogcast.
That is true. So I got a home, you know, because of you guys. So thank you for that. I got a home about 15 minutes from here, which is nice because it's like close to the gym, close to the office. So whenever I need to go, it's like a 10-minute drive anywhere. And then it's about 30 minutes to LA. So it's a really nice location.
Like downtown.
Yeah. It's a really nice location. I think in terms of investment as well, I think it's like probably the best around here. It's a really nice school.
Because it's up and coming. Yeah.
Not only that, it's just there's none of the problems that LA has will ever come up here because it's so far. Like it's like this area, Porter Ranch, is like the most north LA suburb there is. Like it's like you can't really go anymore. It's
in the hills, basically.
Yeah, because there's like a bunch of mountains and shit. So you can't go any more north. And it's honestly really nice. I've been loving it. It's really quiet as well. I do miss, because I used to live this way on an apartment on Varial Avenue. And I love that because that was Woodland Hills and it was really popping. Like it's so much different than the quietness that I have right now. Like I would go on the downstairs in my apartment, I would go out in the street and there's cars, there's fucking people. 5 minutes down the road, there's Joey, the restaurant, like popping area.
Yeah, you were in a good spot.
Yeah, I love this Woodland Hills area. And now I moved over here and it's, okay, there's not many people my age. Like, which funnily enough, I say that, but my neighbor is like 23 years old as well. And it's like pretty cool. But it's super quiet. You leave the neighborhood, you don't really see shit. There's like a elementary school.
And it's also just pretty.
Yeah.
It's like
really
serene.
Nice. It's really nice. And you can, I look over everything. Like I look down on here because it's so high up. I literally see all of
the valley.
I literally see the valley, which is really cool. So yeah, man, I'm blessed. It's been great. I'm working on a pool. My landscaping finally like started because it took us like fucking 5 months to get permits because I guess in California, like, I mean, I'm sure you need to get permits everywhere, but in California, they're really fucking slow. There's all these inspections you have to do and going back and forth with the city. So that took like 5 months. They were supposed to be done 2 months ago, but because of the permits, they're just now starting like a month. They had started like a month ago.
Okay.
So it's not going to be done until they said maybe May, which means June, which probably means like July, to be honest, because they're already getting delayed on shit like inspections. So, but I'm doing this challenge, the 75 hard challenge, and I haven't drank, and I'm planning on like probably if my backyard's done, I'll have like a party the day, which is it's June 9th. It'd be a Sunday during the day.
Pool party.
Yeah.
That's dope, dude. So you plan on living here long term?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as long as I am of value of Young LA, I think I'll be here for most of the time. Yeah. Because that's really the main reason why I did it. Because I wouldn't want to live in California, to be honest. But, you know, because they're here, it's like, okay, I feel like I should. You know,
that's kind of how I feel. Yeah. But not to the same extent as you. But it's like the only reason I'm here basically is for Young LA. There's other, I guess, like there's benefits to living here. The weather's nice, close to the ocean, but it would be nice if Young LA was in Florida or something. Yeah. Young Florida. Like that would be ideal for me because it's cheaper out there, it's cleaner, and I don't know. Like getting a house here almost seems impossible in a sense because like unless I really, the only way I'd get a house here is if I knew I wanted to settle down here for like a long time. Yeah. You know, but ideally I'd be able to do whatever I need to do for Young LA from a distance. And also there's a really big bodybuilding scene in Florida. I bet. So you got Derek Lunsford out there.
Because it's like more bodybuilding is kind of a conservative sport. So like the conservatives tend to go to like Texas, Florida.
Yeah, dude, the Texas Pro is like one of the biggest pro shows you can do.
Yeah.
And the Tampa Pro as well. So I don't know.
I will say though that we've met some pretty cool people here in LA, which wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't LA.
Yeah.
And we've done some like pretty sick shit. Just in terms of like, I mean, like I was at Dobrik's house one time.
Yeah.
Like why, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do that shit. Dude, I remember I pulled up in his house with the day that I got my Porsche GT4 RS. I pulled up because Harry was there and he was like, yo, pull up. I was like, all right, bet. And like I pulled up and like his boys were like, yo, fucking sick whip. And I was like, this is sick. He had like security at his house and everything. He was chilling on the couch. But little shit like that where that can only happen in LA.
Yeah.
You know, or like meeting these random people at, like you're going out or you just make connections that you can't really do anywhere else.
It's kind of a trickle-down effect from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like you get these really high-up people, and then they have like lower-tier connections, and then those people also live here. And it's like you can just meet almost everyone here is like a friend of like some famous actor. It's crazy.
And the only problem with that is like you don't know what relationship is real. It's like, okay, is this guy just like, are we being friendly because we want to gain something from each? Like I want to gain something from you, and you want to gain something from me, or
do you actually just?
Actually fuck with me?
Yeah.
So I think it's like a mixture of both. There have been some funny. I got some funny stories, bro. Like we were back when we used to go out in LA. We don't really anymore because it's too expensive, and honestly, the hospitality here fucking sucks. Like it's like you got to be fucking Charlie D'Amelio to get any respect around here, which sucks. Like when you go out in here, they don't give a fuck who you are. Mm-hmm. They don't care how many times you've been there. They don't care how much bread you spent there. Like back in Houston, bro, like everyone was so.
That's the Southern hospitality.
Yeah, they would love to. Like they would love to see me because it was like, oh, yo, like my boy, this and that, give free drinks, whatever, you know. But here it's like they don't give a fuck. They act like they've never seen you before, unless you're literally like 10 million followers. You got TMZ following you around. They don't give a fuck about you. That's what sucks about LA nightlife. But I remember we were out once, and we had these girls like come up to us, and like obviously they're being super provocative, and they're like, "Yo, like dancing, like kissing, whatever." And they're like, "Yo, come over to our place after," and we're like, "All right, bet." So the club closes. It's fucking late, and we Uber to this place, and it's in the hills, like Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. So it's like all these mountains and shit, and like huge houses, all with private gates. And we go into this girl's house, and there's another girl there, and then the girls from the club, and there's some other dudes, and like they're doing blow, and everyone's pretty much getting just fucked up.
Right.
And we go into her kitchen, and there's a fucking huge poker table, or like a normal size poker table, I guess, but like it's a big poker table. Yeah, normal poker table, but it's in a small kitchen. So we're like, holy shit! Like, she's like, yo, you guys want to play poker? And we're like, all right, bet. And we sit down. And then we start playing, and she's the house. So it's only illegal if she takes a rake, which she didn't. So it's not illegal. I think it was because she was really fucking with one of the dudes who we were with. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that's why she.
What does take a rake mean?
Take a rake means, so it's like pay to play. Like in a real casino, like, okay, the house takes a portion of the winnings, but that's how it works, and that's legal because it's like they're an actual casino versus if you're playing out of your house, it's illegal because that means that you're. I think it has something to do with taxes and shit like that. They can't.
Okay.
So you can't do that. But we at the end of the night, like we played poker for like 2 hours, bro, and at the end of the night, she pretty much told us like, yeah, I bring guys from the club who are fucked up. Like, I pretend to, like, take shots with them, and her friend right there, too. Like, they were agreeing, like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, super hot. They're like, yeah, we, like, get up on dudes. We bring them over, and then we take their money in poker. And I was like, bro, y'all are fucking crazy. Like, free drug. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, we give them blow, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they come back, play poker, and I take your money. I'm like, that's fucking insane. And then she probably fucks them too or whatever. But like, she plays poker.
Takes money only if they fucking lose, right?
Yeah. But she's like she didn't play, and I think that's because she was she was really fucking with the dude, and so she didn't even play. She was like kind of just fucking around. So I think they kind of like gave up on the night, and they just kind of wanted to chill. And like we played, but we didn't play big hands.
Yeah.
But I assume she gets some like, you know, big
That's
players
a crazy
in there.
business model.
Yeah,
bro.
and beautiful house, like insane house. I'm thinking, how the fuck does she afford this in Beverly Hills? But yeah, that was one of the first nights that I went out in LA. So I was like, whoa, this is like, it's a lot. It's really different. Yeah. And it was scary too. Cause like we're going in this like mansion. It's like, all right, whoa. And oh dude, I could just go on, bro. Just so much different. It's so much different than Houston. It just has a different vibe. Like everywhere you go has a little bit, and maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it does have a little bit of an evil vibe. Like everywhere you go. It's not like Houston, even Miami, maybe a little bit. Miami's more like flashy, superficial, but here it like really does have like kind of an eerie vibe wherever you go. Or like
maybe it's because you're aware of all the weird shit that goes on with Hollywood and some of these elites.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean it's not legit. It just means you're like hyper aware of it.
Yeah, but I feel like I have a good radar for that. And like in Miami, it's not like that. Like Miami is like, it's more.
Yeah, but I feel like Miami is just like, we're all here to get fucked up.
Yeah,
and just
and
like party.
Money. Like okay, if you got money, you can come in. But it's not like, oh, I'm not going to treat you
It's very
right.
direct. It's just like, you got money, come spend it, get fucked up, and then leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that you went to one of these shoots, and they rented some house.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the dude who owned the house, like, I guess rents it out to people to shoot in it, but
he still lives in it. I realized that he actually lives there.
And this guy, like,
Goldstein, what's his first name?
I don't know.
Something Goldstein.
A
Jew.
And yes.
Doesn't matter. Jewish man. Doesn't matter.
Just an observation.
Yeah.
And dude, he had some weird pictures.
Yeah, so he had in his living room. Well, I guess you could call it living room. It was kind of like, okay, first of all, the house was insane. Like it looked over Los Angeles, and it was like all glass, and you could open up the glass, and here's this backyard with a pool, and you literally look over LA. It was sick. But, dude, now I'm getting these memories back. He had all these photos of all these celebrities. He had P. Diddy, one of the photos.
Which, that's a big red flag right there.
I took a photo of this, and I sent it to Johnny. I was like, dude, look at this fucking weirdo. Like, taking a photo of P. Diddy, which, by the way, we fucking knew about that shit before. We knew P. Diddy was weird. But anyways, because this was a month ago or whatever. Took a photo. He was with P. Diddy. Photo with fucking Rocky, like just all celebrities. Drake,
everyone.
Rihanna, Kamala Anderson, who hers photo was naked. She was naked and he was with her. It was just like really crazy shit. We go into his bathroom, or we go into the guest bathroom, or maybe it was the master bathroom. I go in there and it's just posters of like naked bitches and like spreading their pussy, like just super sinister shit. And the guy also looks like a fucking lizard.
Like, isn't he like 60?
Yeah, I have no idea how old he is, but he just looks like a lizard. And I remember being super weird. And then we were like walking. We were kind of like exploring because we had some time. We were exploring the property, and we found like a guest bedroom under the house. So you had to kind of go. He also had a bunker, but we had to go down the stairs under the pool, and you look into this guest bedroom, and there was like a whole fucking mask. He had like these sparkly shoes and it was like paired up with the sparkly tuxedo, and it was like hung on the hanger was a hat with like a sparkly mask with a long beak. And I'm like, bro, this is literally what they fucking talk about. Like,
this is the shit, dude.
I'm sure there have been a million fucking
that's
orgies.
The guy who fucking stole Ryan Garcia and brought him over to Bohemian, bro.
I was like, this is where they do orgies. I wouldn't even fucking sit there, this and that. Like, I'm sure if you came here with a blue light, you would be fucking disgusted, bro. Like, this is, because all these photos, he documented it. It's like
in your face, man.
Yeah, it's like he took photo, Bill Clinton, like all these people, no Donald Trump though, but all these people, just like a huge line of it. It was crazy as shit. And he had one that was like really fucking scary to me. It was, she definitely wasn't of age, or maybe she was, but she looked really young. I don't know who it was. but it was like looked like a really young girl, and she was like in a wet t-shirt, and he was like with her taking a photo. I was like, dude, this is fuck. And then I made a Jewish joke, and then one of the people on set was like, my boyfriend's Jewish, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. It was just a joke. But yeah, speaking of Jews are under New York City. The
tunnels
under the.
Whatever happened to that news story?
Yeah, no.
This is something that I've been noticing a lot.
Just got swept under the rug, dude.
Yeah,
under the tunnel, maybe some might say, under the church or whatever the fuck it was.
The synagogue.
Yeah.
This is something I've been trying to note, or something I've been trying to do is like whenever there's a news story, and my first instinct is like, this is probably going to get swept under the rug. I try to remember it.
Yeah.
And I tried to, that way, like a couple weeks later, I look around to see if I can still see it anywhere or if it's still being talked about. Because something that is talked about a lot is like January 6th. Something that's talked about a lot is like, Trump saying like there's good people on both sides. This shit happened back in like 2016 and it still gets brought up today. But there's certain things like the transgender school shooter that remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The school shooting was being talked about a lot, and then all of a sudden it came out that the school shooter was transgender, and then it was talked about a little less, and then the journal was found of like a manifesto, and it's like, I'm going to kill all these fucking kids, and it kind of was hate crimey, and it just never got talked about again. Yeah, because
it just doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah, and it's pretty spooky how things can just get memory holes like that.
Yeah, and I do want to be clear, because if you're Jewish and you got offended, I'm more so making a joke about, or I'm talking shit to the Jews who like run the world type of thing. More so like, and I know that doesn't tell you guys much. It's pretty vague, but it's not. I'm not talking shit about like Jews. I'm just saying the ones that run the world is more so what I'm saying.
Well, we should talk about that a little bit too, because some people might be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah,
because I have Jewish friends as well. And first off, there's many different like sects of Jew. SECTS of Jews that like they don't necessarily all believe the same thing. There's Orthodox Jews, and then there's some that are just like Jewish by blood, but they don't really believe in any of that stuff or follow it, but they're just like ethnically Jewish. And
this is, just to be clear, this is a really fucking touchy subject, especially right now in today's.
I don't give a fuck,
with
bro.
The whole Israel and
I know.
Palestine.
We're not even talking about Israel and Palestine though. Like I'm not picking sides in that. I got no dog in that fight, but that was like, there's certain things that people are very scared to touch on, and that's usually like race, like anything that people might call you out for being racist, you're like not allowed to talk about it. But then that barrier started to get broken, and it started becoming mainstream. Like big influencers would talk about like, listen, I'm not racist, but we need to talk about the discrepancy in like violent crime. And blah, blah, blah. And that kind of became mainstream. Or like sexism. People didn't want to be called sexist, but then it started to become more mainstream. Like, listen, we can't, I just saw a video today of like 2 female cops trying to subdue this guy, and he just like fights them off and runs. They like physically can't subdue him.
Yeah.
And, so that started to become more mainstream. But the thing that like hasn't, you can't fucking talk about it, or people are just really scared to get labeled anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Can't talk about Jews.
But we're going to, because we don't care about being called anti-Semitic, because I'm not anti-Semitic. One of my closest friends on the planet is Jewish. And
I actually don't think I have a Jewish friend.
Yeah. One of my
Is Carly Jewish?
She is, yeah. I don't think she like practices it though.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely doesn't. I don't think she's like religious, but she's like one of those ethnic Jews. And then one of my best friends is an Ashkenazi Jew. And like, bro, he'll fucking make, like, he's cool about joking about that shit. He doesn't get all, like, offended if you make a Jewish joke of, like, oh, y'all run the banks. Mm-hmm. He'll make jokes like that. So there's definitely, you can't just, like, lay a blanket term and say all fucking Jews are in on it. But to deny just simple fucking reality is crazy to me. And the fact that people are so scared about being called an anti-Semite, it's like, what, are you scared of being called a racist too? Like, just grow a pair of balls and fucking just talk about it. Mm-hmm. Jewish people, there's a massive overrepresentation in Hollywood, in news media, in politics. A lot of politicians, they either are Jewish or one of their parents was Jewish, or they have some other ties to Israel. And does that mean there's a conspiracy? No, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, but to be scared to even like point that out is just crazy to me. Like, you can point out facts and then say, well, yeah, there's a logical explanation for that. But to even be scared to like point out facts is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, I didn't even mean to be like, guys, I'm not anti-Semitic.
Right.
But the fact that I felt like I had to say that really quick, because I was like, wait, shit, maybe I shouldn't have like made that joke or whatever it was. But
yeah, look,
anyways, there were fucking tunnels under the synagogue, and
there was a dirty mattress in there, bro.
Yeah, they pulled out a mattress.
Yeah.
Which is like, and it had stains on it. It did have stains. You can look it up. It had stains on it. It was fucking.
And it was like a kid fucking mattress.
Yeah. Like, definitely some fucking weird shit. And they said, oh, they built those for COVID because you couldn't get, everyone got banned out of their, you weren't allowed to, the excuse is they weren't allowed to leave your house.
Right.
So they wanted to go to the synagogue.
They needed religious freedom.
So they used.
Which actually I do agree with. I don't think the government can come in and say, you can't go to temple or whatever, and you guys can't go to church, and you guys can't go to a mosque because there's a virus going around. Like, we have religious freedom here.
Yeah.
So if that is like legit, but the thing is, that's not what worries me, whether it's legit or not. It might be legit, but we should at least be allowed to like question it.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
Like, why the
is
fuck
there a
do y'all
fucking
have
mattress?
tunnels?
There's that congressman or whoever the fuck it was. He was like, there are Jews under my apartment.
Dude, I was about to ask you if you'd seen that tweet.
Like, I hear them fucking talking and shit.
He's like, I swear I hear people talking in fucking Hebrew.
Yeah.
Under my floors.
They're under my floors, and they were like, you fucking this and that. You're crazy.
Like, what are you, a Nazi? You're saying
and then it was
Jews
fucking
in your
true.
Floorboard?
Yeah,
and then he tweeted about it.
It was like years later.
Or it was months, something like that. It was like months later, and he's like, all of you fucking guys owe me an apology. There were actually Jews under my floor. It was
fucking true. I hear them speaking Hebrew. Dude, crazy shit.
That was so funny.
So if you guys haven't read in that, because you're right, it kind of just disappeared.
Yeah,
I think some of them got in trouble or whatever, but then I didn't really hear anything else. Like, fucking interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, anti-Semite became the new, like, racist.
Yeah, it kind of started with Kanye.
Yeah, because Kanye went crazy.
Yeah,
Kanye actually did go crazy, and he's like,
we should talk about Kanye a little bit, because he said if I ever disappear and come back, that's not me. And he literally did disappear and came back, and he looks a little different and talks a little different and acting a little different.
He's definitely acting more like toned back. You know,
I think. Before he went missing, he was super Christian. This and that, like, saying all these things. He dropped 2 Christian albums.
Yeah.
With not a swear word ever in the what I think.
Then he comes back with Vultures.
Yeah, and then he comes back.
Which Vultures is even kind of, because vultures eat dead animals.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the new Jesus, but he's a cussing and like saying all these things, and now he's like back on his like
demon shit.
Yeah, and now he's saying
and like flaunting his girl like basically naked on Instagram and stuff. Just not Christian shit. You can talk about like whether or not that's okay, but we can all agree that's like not a Christian thing to do. Mm-hmm. And for someone who claims to be super Christian, that's not a Christian thing to do.
I think he recently said he's not. He said he pretty much said that he wasn't faithful anymore.
That's crazy.
I think I saw that somewhere. It was in an interview, and he said something. Why? I don't know. I need someone fact check me on that, but I saw an interview. I don't think he is following faith anymore. But it's just crazy because he really was, and he was like making all this music, the gospel music, and then went missing, came back. Remember when he went missing, bro? And everyone was like, oh, Kanye's missing, Kanye? What the fuck? And then he came back and he like looked a little different, walked a little different.
Everyone was saying clone.
Had a new girl, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. Like a door open.
That did kind of, but I can't speak on that because I mean, dude, they said like Eminem was a clone for a while because like he fucking dissed George Bush on a record or something. Like,
I mean, that photo of fucking P. Diddy.
But the thing that I want to talk about is that Kanye came out months ago or like a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was, and literally said the shit about P. Diddy, saying like, he's a fucking pedophile or whatever, traffic. Like,
he was like, he texted him, "Fuck you, Fed."
Like, calling him.
And when he calls them, and I don't think you guys realize because those screenshots went everywhere. I saw, and I don't think you guys realize when he calls him a Fed. He literally means a fucking Fed. Like, this guy is working, not like the Fed, like police. Like, P. Diddy is working for, like, the Illuminati and, like, for the elites. That's what he means by Fed. And I feel like I picked up on that, and, like, you probably did, but I don't think other people realize, like, why he's calling these people's Fed. Why he's calling them Fed, a Fed. And that's why. It's because, like, they're literally working for, you know, whoever it is, Jay-Z, Beyond, whatever. Like, and now Jay-Z's getting a little bit of slack right now. Because
there's no way Jay-Z's clean, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't build that kind of just like aura with being a good guy.
The thing I think is Black China's mom, who's like a super conspiratorial person. She was saying that Jay-Z is the one who like set, like, this is like a 30-year operation. That's how Jay-Z works. Like, to stay at the top, like, it's a 30-year operation, and he planned out this P. Diddy shit and like knew he was gonna get fucked. And Candace Owens was saying that, like, when P. Diddy's place got raided, what they're doing is they're really hiding evidence, like hiding incriminating evidence of other people. That's what Candace Owens and I don't know what his name is, but one of like the dudes who talks about this, he's like an ex-member. He was like, that's what they do, is like his house isn't getting house isn't getting raided.
I think, wasn't it like P. Diddy's like security guard or some shit?
I don't know his name, but we might be thinking of the same guy.
Maybe we are, but
they go in there and they hide the incriminating evidence of all the people that he probably recorded fucking.
Yeah, because that's something that was, a lot of people came out and said that P. Diddy had like mics and secret cameras in like every room in his house.
Yeah,
and you think about
blackmail, bro.
You think about how many fucking famous people came through that house in P. Diddy's time.
Yeah.
How many fucking people came through his place? Bro.
It's literally Epstein. It's just another, it's exactly another Epstein.
Exactly.
That's why they fucking killed, that's why they killed Epstein, because they didn't want him to name all the people, incriminate pretty much everyone. And P. Diddy's just a fall guy, but I think he's like kind of free. Isn't he free right now?
Well, he went over to,
wherever
he took a private jet, which that's why I think he probably is a fall guy. They almost gave him like a free pass to get out of the country.
Yeah.
It's almost like, because he wasn't there when they raided his place.
Yeah.
He was already on the way to the fucking airport, and then he goes over to Antigua, where there's no extradition treaty with the U.S. And if he legit was like set up, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Obviously someone said, listen, like, our shit is kind of falling down around us right here. We need you to be the fall guy. So you can take your money and your riches, but you gotta fuck out. You gotta fuck off so we can blame some shit on you.
Yeah, I hope that with all this P. Diddy stuff, like, y'all, people kind of realize that it's been happening for a long time. Like, dude, there's a video of Justin Bieber sucking Odell Beckham's dick. Have you seen that?
What?
Yeah. So there's a video.
That's got to be a deep fake, bro.
No, dude, it's not. There's a video. You can look it up. Maybe don't, because it could be CP, but.
That probably is.
There's a video, and it's not clear, but you can see Odell's pants are down, and Justin Bieber's in his lap. They're in a club. They're in like some weird club, and like Justin Bieber looks up, and Odell, like, you could see Odell physically like pulls his. You don't see any penis, but like Odell pulls his pants up. You know his pants are down 1,000%, and Justin Bieber like looks up and he's like into the camera, whatever, this and that. And that video is kind of resurfaced because this whole Justin Bieber and P. Diddy thing, which, by the way, I don't fault Justin Bieber at all for this. Like, he's been groomed since he was a fucking little kid by like Katy Perry and all these little celebrities. Ever since that he started, dude, you're so impressionable and like you have all this fame, like you just kind of go with the flow, you know?
Right.
And you're literally getting groomed. You're getting ready to get like, I don't know. It's almost like fucking bad. I don't even want to talk about it because it's like he's getting sexually assaulted, you know, as like a little kid, and you don't really do anything about it because you're so caught up in everything. Like, you're 14 years old, bro, and you have millions of hits, like this and that.
Yeah,
and you kind of just
probably
go
getting
with it.
threatened. Like,
yeah, and
that's probably the first thing is like, listen, if any of this stuff gets out, like your whole family's.
And have you? We could talk about the Quiet on the Set. Have you seen
that? Wait,
real
quick before I forget, bro.
Dude, I gotta show you this video of Odell though after the.
Okay,
after this.
But I just saw something today of. This happened during the Obama administration. It's kind of off topic, but it just reminded me of it. This reporter went over to somewhere in the Middle East to just do a quick piece on whatever war was going on, and whether it was Syria or whatever. But they ended up kind of getting stranded there either because of military action or maybe it was weather. Like, for whatever reason, this reporter got stuck with the U.S. Troops that he was with. And he was stuck with them for quite a long time, and they started to kind of talk shit about Obama. Like, the military guys started to talk shit about Obama, and a big general was there as well. And he was talking shit about Obama, and apparently said some pretty incriminating stuff. And this reporter, who's stranded with them, starts, like, writing down everything they're saying. He gets back to the U.S. and publishes it all. And this general that was there was this big, fucking 4-star, well-respected general, and he had to resign because of this hit piece that was all true. And the reporter ended up going on the run because he feared for his life.
I think I briefly
and then
saw this.
Years down the line, there's this, or I don't know if it was months or years down the line, there's this CCTV footage of him driving. This reporter, I guess, is no longer on the run because he feels safe or whatever. And his car accelerates up to 120 miles an hour and just wraps around a fucking tree. And he dies in a car fire. And I guess another reporter kind of asked, like, a security expert about, can you control a car? Like, can you remotely control a car? And this guy was like, if there's any part of that car that's electrical that is operated by a computer, then we can hack into it and we can control your speed, essentially. And I thought it was like the most chilling thing because
that's crazy.
You could just be driving along, and what would you do? Like, especially in my fucking the Plaid, if my car just started accelerating, bro, you're already going.
You're just like, fuck.
Yeah, your car just starts accelerating. You hit the brakes don't work.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, I'm fucked. So, point is, they could say, listen, your whole family, like, you could be Justin. If you leak any of this shit, your whole family could be in a car, and then we hack into it and drive you at 120 miles an hour into a tree, and it looks like an accident, and that's that. And it seems like a common theme with all of these kind of, like, celebrities that it looks like they're groomed, that they always go into a kind of manic, psychotic phase.
Yeah,
and I think it's because all this shit catches up to them. Like, it happened with Katy Perry, right?
Yeah, it happened with Justin Bieber.
It happened with Justin Bieber. It happened with Katy Perry. It happened with what's Hannah Montana? What's her fucking name?
Miley Cyrus.
Remember?
Bella Thorne.
Yeah,
Bella Thorne has come out.
All these people.
Like, all these.
What's the chick that went into a conservatorship or whatever? Britney Spears.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's fucking weird. That whole thing is weird.
Yeah, man. All these people.
You get and like the thing with Bella Thorne, I bring her up because, like, she went through this whole phase. I don't. Maybe she still is, but, like, the armpit thing. Like, she had armpit hair for the longest time. So it's like, it's almost like they're rebelling against what they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, you know what? Fuck you guys.
I'm gonna shave my fucking head.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get
like, it's like,
everywhere.
I'm gonna do the opposite of what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And that's it gets them so fucked up. Like, we could talk about the quiet on the set thing.
Oh yeah, the Nickelodeon thing. Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider. And Drake Bell talks about how he got fucked as, you know, a little kid or whatever it was. And then you see all these clips are starting to emerge of the iCarly clips of, like, all these feet. Like, these feet clips. Like, I remember actually, like, watching Victorious or watching iCarly, and it's like these girls, they're young, and their feet are out, and there's, like, ketchup on them. Like, just very, like,
why was this picture even taken?
Yeah, now knowing the guy, the producer or the director, whatever it is, now knowing that is, like, that shit is so fucked up. These are kids. They're minors, and, like, there's clips of their feet, and it's almost like these guys are getting off. Dan Schneider even casted himself in one of the episodes and had the girls jump on it. Have you seen that? He's like laying down. I think he's choking.
Have you seen Quiet on the Set?
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but my sister's like, you gotta watch it. But there's a scene where Dan Schneider he casted himself as the role, and he's laying down, and he's got, I don't know her name, Sam, the blonde girl.
Oh yeah,
Jeanette McCurdy.
McCurdy, yeah.
She's like jumping on his dick. Like, I think he might be choking or something, or, like, needs to get woken up. And they're like, she's like jumping, like, literally, like, spread leg jumping on him. and like Miranda's like on his chest, like, and he casted himself in this role. So now looking back on it, and like knowing the type of person that he is, it's fucking crazy. And there's a Vine. Sorry, because I know you're about to say something, but there was a Vine that Jeanette McCurdy had posted. That's fucking so scary now that when you think about it, her makeup is running. Mm-hmm. She's on Vine, and she goes, Dan, do you like my Vine? I know you're watching, Dan. Do you like my Vine? Do you like my Vine? I know you're watching. Bro, craziest fucking shit. Like,
it's surprising that I haven't heard of that.
And
is that in the Quiet on Set thing?
I don't know. I don't think that. I saw one person post it, and it was like, it all makes sense now. And it's like, you got the Dan Schneider. I don't know if it was him, but he got that girl. Was it him that got that girl pregnant, 13 years old, and she had an abortion?
What?
Yeah.
How do these people not go to prison, bro?
I don't know. And the thing, I'm pretty sure I saw that Nickelodeon knew that he was a fucking weirdo.
Of course.
But it's like,
It brings in so much money.
Jeanette McCurdy, because I got to show you this. McCurdy, Vine. Oh, yeah, here it is. It popped up. Bro, I don't even want to fucking look at it.
Dan Schneider, I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Vine. Look what you've done to me.
Bro, isn't that crazy? 10 years ago, 1.8 million.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And now knowing the person that Dan Schneider is, she was like trying to give us maybe not warnings, but like,
because that, without knowing, that almost could be perceived as like a joke.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 10 years ago, you're probably like, and you're just a fan of the show.
Messing around
like,
with Dan
she
Schneider.
looks so funny, this and that.
But it was a low key subliminal, like,
yeah, it's like, look what you fucking done to me.
like actually,
scary shit. And then you got like someone like Bella Thorne who's gone out and said all these things that she's been harassed for fucking a million years, whatever it was. But it's crazy, dude, because we're so like, we were just kids watching the shows and like, it was funny.
Yeah.
You know, and now looking back and it's like, holy shit, when you actually look at this, like, and how Dan Schneider was involved with all these different shows, like all over Nickelodeon, like not just iCarly, but Victorious, Drake and Josh, you know, other probably movies and shit.
So he was on more than just Nickelodeon.
Yeah. But I think he was just with Nickelodeon, but Nickelodeon did Drake and Josh.
They did a bunch
Victorious,
of different shows.
iCarly, and they were all kind of shot the same. Looking back at it, they were all the same sitcom. Like they were all shot the same plot, like same thing, just different characters.
Right.
You know? And like some of the characters would come over, like Victorious. Jeanette McCurdy was in iCarly, and she was also in Victorious. Or not Jeanette McCurdy. Was she? Yeah, she was.
Dude.
And like Ariana Grande is one of the people who probably, you know, she was involved.
And sometimes, like, I watched Game of Thrones, and there were some scenes where there was so much nudity.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this is definitely just because there's some like neckbeard horny producer that wants to see these like attractive young women naked.
Just tits out. Isn't that like the first episode?
Yeah. It's like every episode of the first season, there's some tits you see.
Yeah.
And it's only the girls. You see like one dick the whole show, and like literally 100 naked women.
Yeah.
Every fucking lead female character on that show, at some point, you see her tits out. And it's like, that's not part of the show. Like, I get sometimes nudity plays its role and it has like artistic value, but you watch Game of Thrones, you cannot tell me that all that shit.
I haven't seen it, but I know that there's a bunch of tits.
Yeah, bro. And it's definitely just some fucking perv producer.
For sure.
That just wants to see these chicks.
Dude, sorry, I'm trying to pull this up really quick. Because I'm trying to get the video of them jumping on him. Damn, look at this. It's just a video. And essentially Dan Schneider comes to record Ariana Grande and one of the other girls, and they're like visually, you can just see they're just unsettled, covering themselves, making their skirt longer. I don't know.
That's weird.
Look at this guy, bro. He's literally like what you would think.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, that's the guy, man.
Oh wait, there's a whole video. Dan Schneider talks about Quiet on the Set 2 weeks ago, 2.2 million views. I guess this might be his page. Yeah, Dan Warp on YouTube. Comments are turned off.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, look what he looks like now. He looks fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Damn, man.
Yeah, lots of shit What the fuck? Lots of shit has happened.
It feels weird being in the proximity to all that because we're in the city where that shit takes place.
Yeah. This is who it was. Amanda Bynes.
Oh, okay.
Got pregnant at 13.
What the fuck? And it was Dan?
Yes.
Is that confirmed?
Yes. Schneider, Amanda.
How's that public knowledge and it's confirmed and he's not in prison?
This says we found no evidence Amanda Bynes had abortion at 13 or was impregnated.
What website is that?
Snopes.com.
Yeah, well,
what is Snopes?
You can't really trust anything Snopes says. Snopes is a quote-unquote fact-checking website.
Okay.
But there are endless examples of Snopes just straight up lying or manipulating or burying the lead.
I think she came out and said it. But like now there's no evidence. Like,
Right. So
look at her.
Let me just
look at her now.
Yeah.
Like you can tell she's just been fucked up.
Oh yeah.
That's so fucking sad, dude.
But this is like a side note. What a lot of these fact-checking websites will do, because if you ever have someone try to fact-check you and they pull up USA Today or they pull up Snopes or anything like that, these fact-checking websites have a method where they know that 90% of people are just going to read their true or false or partially true diagnosis because they put that at the top, right? When you click on Snopes or USA Today or any of these fact-checking websites, you know how it says like mostly true or whatever, or mostly false? They put that at the top because they know most of these NPCs, I don't even like using that term, but that's what these people are. Most of these NPCs that are like, well, actually, I'm going to fact-check you on that. All they do is they fucking type something in, they click on Snopes, and they see, Snopes says this is mostly false. And it'll be something like this. Like, let's say you kill somebody, right? And Snopes writes a fact-checking article. They will phrase the question like, did Soosh kill someone on Sunday? And then they will say mostly false, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have to read, and it'll start off with, Brandon Bannock is a social media influencer, and he started on TikTok, and paragraph after paragraph of just useless information that no one wants to read through. And then at the bottom, it will say, after pages of scrolling, it will say, while it is true that Brandon killed someone, he didn't kill them on Sunday. So this claim is mostly false, right? So they phrase the question in a way where it's going to be false because they add or remove some key information. That it's like, you know, something will be mostly true, but maybe a claim that someone makes about it is a little inaccurate. So then Snopes will just go ahead and say the whole thing is mostly false or the whole thing is inaccurate, when it's like, well, yes, it's only inaccurate if you phrase the claim in this specific way, but the broader claim itself is actually very true. You know what I mean? And all these fucking fact-checking websites do it, and they all lean one way. And that's the problem I have with it, is that they all tend to lean towards like the, you know, the like big science.
Yeah.
And I'm totally a science guy. I'm not dissing the scientific method or anything like that, but it just happened so much, especially during COVID, that it just pissed me off.
I had no idea this was a thing.
Yeah, it happens all the fucking time.
I'm going to look at this.
What?
The Snopes thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, Snopes will do a fact check of itself and say, actually, this is mostly false.
It's an unconfirmed teen pregnancy. That's what they're saying.
But they get to define what confirmed is.
Yeah.
Does a police department have to come out and say this is confirmed?
Yeah, or is it like a birth certificate?
Right, exactly. Like, they can define what confirmed is, so then they can also define what unconfirmed is.
I guess so. Her real name is Ashley Banks. And she had posted a photo, like, her driver's license. She was like, no, I'm not hacked. Like, this is me, authentic, often imitated but never duplicated. I refuse to be silenced. My friends know how to. So she went out and said it back in 2017, but everyone kind of didn't take it serious, I guess. I guess that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Right, so that makes it unconfirmed.
Yeah.
When in reality, it should say something like, you know, it just shouldn't even give a label at the very top.
Yeah.
That kind of invalidates the whole thing. It should say...
they don't even know.
Right. It should say, here's what she said, and, like, we have no evidence that this claim is false. And she's coming out and saying it's true.
Yeah.
But we also don't have, like, a police report, so we can't outright say it's true. But instead they say like mostly false or inaccurate or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it said.
It says mostly false?
It said, well, I didn't even click on it, and like the main thing said, we found no, like, look, it says, we found no evidence.
Yeah.
Like, the main fucking thing is, so there's no evidence besides of her saying that. But still, fucking scary. What show is that called?
What show?
That she was on. It was kind of before our time.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Reminder that Jeanette McCurdy confirmed in her book that the child actors at Nickelodeon were offered $300K each to sign NDAs.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, most of this shit goes down with NDAs. That's how they get away with all this shit, because
Yeah.
they just threaten legal action and they threaten this and that, and it's because they sign NDAs to begin with.
We should watch Quiet on the Set.
Yeah, we should. But even just, like, a lot of these house parties that they go to, I'm sure even just to go into, like, P. Diddy's house, for example, NDA right off the bat.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff is hush-hush because people are scared of not only ruining their reputation or getting killed, but also just, like, very simply violating the NDA that they signed.
Yeah.
Because you're not even included in this shit unless you sign it.
And I also think with that type of shit, like P. Diddy, like, they get drunk, they start doing drugs, and then you don't even know what you're doing, and then before you know it, you fucked an underage girl that might have looked 18, and it's on camera, so it's P. Diddy's like, yo, if you snitch, like, I got you. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, this is a video of you. Like,
bro, that's the whole point of them even being there.
Yeah.
Is that you get incriminating evidence on them, and then the powers that be are able to now control you because they have incriminating evidence on you.
Yeah.
Of you on, 50 different drugs, fucking some 17-year-old girl.
It's like that Black Mirror episode where they make that dude fuck the goat. Have you seen that?
Dude, I saw Black Mirror so long ago.
I'm pretty sure you showed me he fucks the goat. Or the pig. He fucks the pig.
Yeah.
And they blackmail him with the footage.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
That's pretty much like what it is, except without pigs.
And the people that run the world all do this shit. It's kind of a black pill when you think of that. Like, there's very few good eggs, bro.
I remember you told me you were like, don't get black pilled. And like, but right when I was kind of diving into all this stuff, you were like, don't get black pill. I was like, what's black pill? And it was like where you pretty much, you can't
just
even
become
like,
a doomer.
Yeah, you can't even like live. Like,
because you see everything. You see all the worst parts of humanity.
Yeah. And that's kind of what, like, I feel like I'm kind of becoming that a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
like, fuck, dude, this and that. Like, what even is good anymore?
Yeah.
That's why I started going to church. Like,
right.
3 or 4 months ago. I just recently, like, I was raised Christian, but I never really like thought of myself as one. Mm-hmm. And then recently, I just started getting back into it because I'm fucking like,
you kind of have to.
I'm like, bro, there's so much scary shit, especially here in California or here in LA. Like, there's so much shit going on right now, where it's like I'd be foolish not to.
And it's just something like, if we have no common, and I'm not even speaking of this from like a you have to be Christian perspective, but just logically, like if we have no common sense of a greater good, and where people literally and figuratively come together in church and all kind of look up towards this common good that we all strive towards, which you could call God, then all we have left is all like the black sludge of society.
Yeah.
And that's our commonality, and we can't have that. Like, we need something to strive towards.
Yeah.
You know? Or then everyone becomes black-pilled, and then we're just fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are becoming black-pilled, like doomer, black pill, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like, I don't know, that's it almost feels intentional. Like, you just keep doing awful shit and you shove it in people's faces until they just become demoralized. And there's like a step-by-step plan that was outlined by Yuri Bezmenov, who was like a communist, but ended up leaking a bunch of stuff back in like the 70s or 80s. And there was like a step-by-step plan. You have to check into the legitimacy of that, but one of the main steps was just demoralize the public so that they have no fighting will. Mm-hmm. And from there,
what's the point?
Things are very easy from that point. If people have a fighting will and they're like, I remember the old America and I'm going to fight for that, then it's actually very hard for a government to suppress the will of the people because there's so many of us.
Yeah.
But if people are just like, I only care about me and my family, and I'm just going to go get a ranch somewhere and not give a fuck about any of this stuff because it's all awful and it's all bad, and I have nothing to stand on anymore. Well, then it's just like fucking, what's it, fish in a bucket?
Yeah.
So
one of the things where, because I've been seeing a lot, it's like, yo, start having kids. Like, we need to go back to the
traditional
way where it's like big families and like you get right with God and you build that family, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. Like, no matter that all this shit, like, yes, we're fucked. Like, all you got is like what you're gonna leave, like your legacy, you know, and like that's gonna be your kids, your bloodline. I'm like, dude, I want to start having kids now before it's fucking too late, bro. Not now,
and also
maybe even fucking now. Like, I want like a little bit of like skin in the game, almost.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but
because it's fucking scary,
and also this weird push towards, I hate kids. I don't want to have kids.
Yeah,
fuck kids.
Yeah,
like that's not human, man.
People aren't having kids no more.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's weird.
No, the birth rates are like way down, and actually in Japan, it's almost like unrecoverable. Like they're so low that it's almost unrecoverable. They're declining in population.
There's more old people than young people,
yeah,
right?
Like there's a certain distribution of ages, and it's supposed to look a certain way, and in Japan it's just totally skewed. Tons of old people, very little young people, and we're barely staying afloat over here, and now we're importing people from other countries that maybe we should save that whole talk for another podcast, because that's a huge conversation that we need to have. But I don't know. I don't. Even what you just said is almost proof of what I was saying. You said, I just want to have kids and like, so I have some skin in the game. And you almost said it in a way of like, and I'm not disparaging you, but you almost said it in a way of like, all this shit is fucked and I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to have kids and kind of like worry about myself, you know? And a lot of people feel that way. And it's almost like we're losing a unified community in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's so much division. Like in the 1950s, 1960s, it's like, yes, I want to have kids and I want to worry about myself, but I also care about my town, the small town that I'm in. I care about my greater community. I care about other Americans. But we're losing that part of it, and it's just becoming like, I only care about me and my little bubble.
Yeah, and your family.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm a victim. I've fallen victim.
But this is a good podcast, man.
It was.
So we starting this shit up again?
Yeah, I feel like we easily could for like I was saying, with people we met and like every Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a good thing right now on Sundays, so.
Yeah. And we've got this setup, which is really nice. I kind of like this more than our OG studio, I'm not going to lie.
We'll see how it looks on camera.
Yeah.
I don't just want to leave this shit here, dude.
I kind of do too. I don't want to unset up all this shit. You guys can't even see, but there's cameras all here, lights, studio lights all here. All our shit is spread out, the mics, the Rodecaster.
I'm so dead right now.
Same. Dude, you just like... I feel like you just had a very cathartic like therapy session where all the shit that you've been noticing.
Yeah.
You're just
I
like,
can't fucking tell no one else, bro, because everyone's like, no, not people, but like whenever I talk about it on Snapchat, I get so much shit. Like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. This and that. Like, not everything's conspiracy. I'm like, bro.
You gotta be able to.
I really am trying
thoughts out in the world.
I'm really like I think the end thing, because I've been watching a lot of things. Is like you just need to have a family. And like get right with God, and
that's definitely a good start.
Yeah,
like what you're doing is not wrong. All I'm saying is don't lose hope, man, and don't stop fighting the good fight. Like there is still hope. There's only no hope if everyone becomes hopeless.
Yeah.
So if you become black-pilled and everyone starts to become black-pilled, then yes, there's no hope. As long as you say things could always get worse, but things can also always get better. And it's the onus is on us as people. Our government's not going to do it for us. Our government's a bunch of fucking child rapists. And big companies aren't going to do it for us. And you really only have like a few people that are elite status that are actually like good eggs. And the vast majority of them are either neutral or they're bad.
Yeah.
And you got people like Mark Zuckerberg building his $250 million with a B, $250 million bunker over in Hawaii. obviously getting ready for the worst to come.
I think there's multiple of them doing that.
There's a ton. There's a ton of billionaires building bunkers right now.
Dude,
but
we didn't
Mark
even talk
Zuckerberg,
about the fucking Maui fire. There's so much shit we could talk about.
There is a lot of shit. Yeah. But point is, closing remark, don't lose hope, man. Things can always get better.
Yeah.
We're in a downturn. Things might get worse, but the cycle of humanity is that, what is it? Good people create hard times, or good people create good times, and then good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. You know,
I've
the
never
fucking
heard that,
circle of
but
life.
But
you get it.
I see it.
You get it though. Yeah.
I see it.
So we're in the stage of like, we had our good times and it created a bunch of weak men, and now weak men create hard times, and we're in those hard times right now, and things might get a little worse, but ultimately, hard times create strong men. So we can either be the weak men contributing to the problem, and men, that includes men and women, or we can rise up. So
We shall rise.
we shall rise. Yo, that was 2.5 hours, man. That was a good reintroduction to Mogcast. Hopefully my shit's still recording. It looks like it is.
All right, guys. We will see you when we see you. We have no idea when this is going to be uploaded and what the posting schedule is going to be, but we'll post again. We'll see you next time.
We'll
See you when we
next time.
post again. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.